Yo, what's up? My name's Petrowski, and this is my story. You see, I was locked up, put in something called legendary jail for daring to try to play a PokeMMO account in a way that no one else had ever done without trading or using the GTL. Welcome back to the PokeMMO Iron Man account. However, I must have done something right because now I have my Zapdos and I'm a free man! Wahoo! That's right, we can finally play the video game again. The Iron Man account is so back, fellas. Never again will I ever have to run back up to Pattern Bush and run back and forth. At least not until Articuno comes back, which thankfully is many months away. But anyways, welcome back to the PokeMMO Iron Man series. This is episode 11. If you aren't caught up on the rest of the series, make sure to check out the description for a link to the entire playlist of all episodes so far. It's about 30 hours or so of video, which condenses 513 hours of progress. From doing all the storylines, to breeding up Pokemon, to preparing for raids, PVM, PvP, battle point farming to get certain items like choice specs, choice bands, safety goggles, ditto farming, evolutions, and all sorts of farming methods, synchronized farming, synchronized hunting, catch events, alpha catches, swarms, you name it. If it involves progress on a PokeMMO account, we've done it. And we've done it all without trading or using the GTL. Now, I don't like to ask stuff like this at the start of videos because then you should watch the content first before deciding whether you liked it or not, but along the way throughout the video, if you find out that you do like the content, click the like button and maybe even subscribe. It helps me out a ton and allows me to make more content. But what is today about? What are our goals? I could go over our goals list, which I will do in a split second, but I'm gonna be honest, look at my boxes. They are full as hell. Fuller than my freezer after a Costco trip. Fuller than your bank account after payday, and even fuller than your popcorn bucket when you get an extra large at the theaters. So today is largely going to be about breeding down, consuming Pokemon, spending Pokeyen, creating good IV Pokemon, whether it's for the direct future, something tomorrow, the next day, or 3 months, 4 months, 6 months from now. The Iron Man account is all about preparation for the long term. If we save time now, it'll save us tens or even hundreds of hours in the future. This is an account that pays out massive dividends the longer you play it and further down the road. I do want to take time just to breed a bunch of 1x31 Pokemon together in similar egg groups and try to consume as much as possible and think less, not trying to get those perfect breeds, just getting the IVs up in general. Getting some 4x31 Pokemon as breeders would be fantastic, but I also want to take the time to make some good Pokemon that I need. Things like future raid Pokemon, things like Drizzle Politoed for the upcoming, or I guess the one day when I do the Heatran raid fight, the most difficult raid fight in PokeMMO. A Politoed needs very specific IVs for that fight. More Alpha Ninetales are always nice, Kingdras, Dragonites, there's tons of powerful Pokemon in my boxes that are just unsculpted masterpieces ready to be made. So let's go ahead and get to sculpting. But first things first, before we get started, an artist must cover his bases. We're at 513 hours played, 1.4 million Pokeyen, 2,000 BP, 3,700 encounters over on our official encounter counter, plus 9,400 from the unofficial one before this one was added very, very recently. So we're at about 13,000 encounters dry for a shiny since our last shiny. Obviously not very dry at all. And here is our notepad document with all of our Iron Man goals. Did you get all that? No, but in seriousness, there's only so much you can do in an episode, and I want to stop trying to do too much, spreading myself too thin, and just focus in on a few tasks each and every episode. I am not going to be hunting Entei, at least I don't think, in this episode. I'm mostly going to be breeding Pokemon and then maybe going off on whatever wins from there. And then my daily tasks, gym reruns, just gym reruns, alpha catches, swarms, those things keep me plenty busy, let alone the major overarching tasks. So let's just go ahead and have fun and do wherever the game takes me today. A lot of times in PokeMMO, you don't want to plan out your whole week at the start of the week out on Monday, right? At that point, is it really a game? Are you having fun? I like trying to see how I'm feeling each day and try new things and doing new things. So let's just do that this week. For those who don't know, I upload a video every single week on Sunday with all my Iron Man progress from that week. So if you want to go ahead and see that every week, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell notification. But let's get started on some of our first breeds and sculpt in progress. First things first, we have the start of this Murkrow breed. So, Honchkrow is actually an extremely powerful PVM Pokemon. It does a ton of damage and has access to an extremely powerful Sucker Punch. You use this in the Red Refight, I believe possibly in the Hoa Refight, and definitely in some raids. So getting a 2x31 attack and speed out of Honchkrow is crucial. You don't need the extra speed, you just want the extra damage, because obviously you're Sucker Punching most of the time, almost 100% of the time when using this Pokemon, maybe Night Slashing occasionally. So we're going to go ahead and use this 1x31 attack Murkrow and this 1x31 speed Ditto to get this breed started. Go ahead and make it female and then pay for the breed and just continue through. Really easy peasy. You don't really need any defense stats on a Honchkrow. Honchkrow is pretty darn incredibly frail, so it's not something you really even want to factor in. I almost wanted to keep the 20 plus Sp.Def and defense on this, but I think it's just not worth stressing over. It's one of those things. If this also rolls Lonely, Naughty, or Adamant, I would keep all of those and not even go for a rebreed. If it doesn't, I should have other Pokemon that can help finish up the breed and put the Adamant nature onto it. Next up is a Pinsir breed. To be totally honest, I kind of bit off a little bit more than I can chew, unfortunately, on this breed. This is mostly a for fun breed. I just love Moxie Pinsir so much. It's such a fun Pokemon, even though it's actually not very good in PVM or PvP. I'm going to try to make it work in PvP. I would love to center an entire NU team around making Moxie Pinsir extremely powerful. This Pokemon has a really insanely nice, pretty solid attack stat of 125, decent bulk in 100 defense, honestly decent bulk for the most part all around. 65 HP is a little low, 70 Sp.Def is not amazing, but that 100 defense plus everything makes it a lot better, 125 attack, and then 85 speed is like almost enough. If I could set up this Pokemon under screens, maybe Tailwind, it could just sweep entire teams. The problem is that it's a mono bug type and that it has a lot of problems, okay? But I love Moxie Pinsir. It could become extremely strong, and I want to try to make it work. It could be a Life Orb user, a Choice Band user, a Choice Scarf user. It can do a lot of things once I have it built. So even if I'm putting too much love into a Pokemon that isn't the most effective thing in the world, it's because I love this Pokemon. So you know what? At the end of the day, in my opinion, that's worth it. Up comes a 3x31 Pinsir. All of our eggs are hatching over in our incubators as well. If you aren't familiar with that pretty new PokeMMO mechanic, they are passively hatching while I prepare the other breeds. All right, and I think thanks to all of the Dittos I caught recently in a previous episode where I just caught so many Dittos, I should be able to go ahead and finish my Shadow Sneak Gallade, which will be an extremely powerful raid Pokemon. So what I can go ahead and do is breed this Ralts and this Ditto, creating a 2x31, 31 HP, 31 attack, and then 25 plus in both the defenses as well as Adamant nature. Then I'll go ahead and take this Ralts, which I can let randomly roll any nature since I do have the Dittos that I'm using to breed. I can brace the speed on this Ditto, Everstone the Adamant nature on the Ralts, and then my attack should roll pretty well. My defense, my Sp.Def. However, my HP is going to randomly roll. And I do kind of think this is the best chance I can do. I'm hoping I just get lucky. I need to finish this Gallade. If the HP low rolls to 9, it would be pretty unfortunate, but still usable. You don't need the bolt on a Gallade. It's just nice. And this is the point of today's episode, is cranking through Pokemon. I don't want to sit here and get analysis paralysis and just never make progress on the Ironman account because I can't find the perfect breeders. We're going to have to squeeze together some puzzle pieces when breeding on the Ironman account. But our Murkrow did go ahead and hatch. It's 2x31. In attack and speed, but did not get the Adamant roll. That is okay. Our Pinsir also hatched, came out 3x31. Medium rolled 20 plus speed, which I'm very happy to see. Still needs a lot of work. First things first, let's finish this Murkrow because it should actually be a pretty easy breed. And once again, all these Dittos that I caught are just saving my Tookus. I was not able to complete any of these breeds before, but now I can complete a ton of them. I'm going to put this bad boy in a Victreebell. I like to do that when I'm completing a breed. 31 attack, 31 speed, Adamant nature, Sucker Punch, decently simple, still took a long time and still took a lot of breeds. That is the process of the Ironman account. It still took many hours of Ditto farming to ever find the right pairing for it. Next, we have this Pinsir, which I don't know if I'm going to continue forward on for the time being because there's so much work that needs to be done to actually finish this thing off. It is now 3x31, 20 plus speed. I could just keep that there. I'm going to have to either high roll the Sp.Def, go for a 31 on it, maybe just make this bad boy 5x31, but it feels like a lot for something like this, a passion project. Now, hilariously, I might actually have the perfect Pokemon to go ahead and finish up this breed. It's not going to be absolutely perfect, but it'll be pretty damn good, and I'm definitely happy with it. I probably could have bred it in different ways, but that's just how the Iron Man goes. You can't always get exactly what you want. Things are going to get a little bit messy and a little bit sloppy along the way. I have this Fortress, which I can go ahead and Everstone to get the naive nature, increasing the speed and lowering the special defense of the Pinsir, which is mostly okay since the special defense is not great, and that's definitely the worst stat that it has. It could high roll actually, or at least medium roll with the stats here. Let me just show you guys what this is looking like. So this should come out as a 3x31 Pinsir with hidden ability access, Moxie, naive nature giving it the speed boost. I actually care about it having the speed boost more because Moxie is going to boost its attack over and over and again. So we have its attack covered. It's going to be doing so much damage with the 125 attack stat as well as the Moxie ability. I don't need to worry about that anymore. I need to make it fast enough so that I can actually kill as many Pokemon as possible. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pay for it to be female and hope that this Sp.Atk either medium rolls or high rolls, put it in a luxury ball, and call this a day. It's going to be a really fun Pokemon that's going to be really cool in PvP, and I'm excited to build teams around it. That's a beautiful Pinsir. Not perfect, but beautiful on the iron. Next up, we have our Ralts that hatch. Let's go check it out. Adamant Nature, 31 HP, 31 attack, 25 plus defenses. Looking really strong. I'm not gonna lie, it almost hurts to let this HP roll, and I might look around to see if I can not have that happen because this Pokemon is just so beautiful looking. This Ralts, right, it's so close to just absolute peak perfection, and I'm asking myself, is it worth it to possibly mess that up? Is it worth it to take my time and try to make a proper Chaos or Humanoid Egg Group breeder for this? It might be. All right. There's a lot of Pokemon on your screen right now. Let me try to figure out and explain what I'm trying to do. So, first things first, I had to find a humanoid 31 speed egg group Pokemon. I have this Abra with 20 plus special defense. It does not have 20 plus defense though. So, I have to breed it with this weird Ditto to get the defense higher while also keeping the special defense high, and then bracing the weird defense here, bracing the speed here on this Abra. That will give me a 31 speed Chaos egg group or / humanoid Pokemon. I think it's humanoid. That's the two egg groups Glade is in. Pokemon that I can then breed with this Ditto to then get 31 attack, 31 speed, 25 plus in both of these. And then I still don't have HP, do I? I'm doing the same mistake. Ugh. And this is why breeding is so difficult. But then at least from this position, I could breed on the HP. I think that's the strategy. When I actually have a Pokemon. The problem is I don't have a Chaos Egg Group Pokemon. When I breed this Ditto with this Ralts directly, it doesn't solve any of my problems. Well, it solves some of them, but it doesn't solve all of them, right? And I really do want this. I want this Glade to be amazing. It's a very powerful Pokemon. It can do great things. I want to put time into it, so we're going to make sure this thing comes out perfect. We're going to go ahead and get that going. I'm going to need to slow down on my other breeds. Once you start doing tons and tons of breeds at once and breeding breeders for breeders and then breeders and having breeders for your other breeders, things are going to get really confusing very quickly. Don't want to get overly convoluted and lose track of things and make a big mistake. So we're going to wait for that Abra to come out, breed with this Ditto, and then try to find an HP breeder for it as well. Okay, well, it turns out I don't have a 2x31 HP Chaos or Humanoid Egg Group breeder, so it turns out I need to make a breeder for another breeder for a breeder or something like that. My puzzle's getting all jumbled. But I have this Shuppet that I can go ahead and breed with this Ditto, and that should create a 20 plus defenses as well as 31 HP breeding Pokemon in the Chaos Egg Group, and then I should be able to breed this with other Dittos if I'm not mistaken. I'm a little worried about the gender here. Should I wait and see how my Abra comes out? Does that matter yet? I think I'm gonna wait for a sec, or I don't know. It's getting to that sticky situation. I'm gonna go ahead and go through with it. I hopefully should have the Dittos to continue up this breed, and if not, we could figure something out along the way. But I'm just waiting for a bunch of hatches, and I'm a little scared to move on to other breeds while in the middle of this massively complex Glade breed. I'm essentially just trying to get a 3x31 breeder. I need a breeder that is either a Ditto, which I need to make a Chaos or Humanoid Egg Group breeder. I need to make a breeder that is 31 speed, 31 attack, 31 HP, and then 20 plus in both all the defenses. So a very powerfully IV'd Pokemon that doesn't have nature. So then I can Everstone the nature from the Ralts while speed IVing, speed bracing the other Mon. I guess our Pinsir is done though, so let's go check it out. Let's see if our special defense high rolled. It medium rolled. I am more than happy with that. The speed at 21, is a little low. I definitely wish it was faster, but you know what, man? I'm just going to consider that done. It's sort of a passion project and kind of a meme Pokemon, so I'm just going to consider that mostly done for now. Move this over to the comps box, and I will EV train this, XP train this, and get this ready to go in the NU tier one day. The next up is our Murkrow, which also should be done, shouldn't it? So you know what? Yeah, that's perfect. 2x31 Adamant. I don't know what I was so stressed about with these mons. These guys are done. I guess I'm still working on a bunch of other breeds. So the Ralts breed, I just don't want to get lost in it. But these guys are just done. They can come over here. These are Pokemon that need to be attack EV trained in the future. All right, and there is our Abra hatched. Let's go ahead and go grab that from our PC as well. See how it came out and see how we need to pair it up with other breeders. 31 speed, 20 plus in the defenses, missing the HP and attack stats. I believe this is where I can go ahead and breed these two guys together, this Ditto and this Abra, creating a 31 attack, 31 speed, random nature, 20 plus defense, 20 plus Sp.Atk breeder, and then I'll eventually create the HP breeder with the Shuppet, and I'll have to just make sure that I lined up the natures. Or the gender. I can let this gender roll, but I'm going to have to pay for the gender I need my Shuppet to be to match this Abra. So I actually can't breed this next Shuppet until this Abra is hatched. All right, both of our Pokemon hatched. Let's send them to our PC, give a look at them, and see where we need to go from here. All right, our Shuppet came out male and our Abra female, but I don't think we're breeding them directly with each other, at least not yet, if I recall correctly. Yes, I would not be able to pass over the correct stats. I first need to go ahead and breed this Shuppet up into a 2x31, and keep in mind that my Abra is female, so I'll have to make this next breed male. Oh my god, just kidding, I'm absolutely fucking trolling. I just realized that I split the egg groups. Oh, that's brutal. I was thinking I could either use Chaos or Humanoid because my Ralts is both Chaos and Humanoid, but nope. Abra's Humanoid, Shuppet's Chaos. I can't breed these two together. Ugh, a perfect example of just how difficult breeding is on the Ironman account, even with 10,000 hours of experience and tons of breeding for profit on a main account. And mistakes will be made on a main account, but mistakes are amped up tenfold on an Ironman account, for better or for worse. So where do I go from here? How do I fix this? Time to find out. If you guess just throwing the Shuppet back in the boxes for another rainy day for a totally different breed, and then finding yourself the 1x31 HP humanoid age group Pokemon you have in your entire boxes and trying to breed that up from scratch, then congratulations, you got it correct. All right, now this next breed is going to look very weird because I actually have to go ahead and breed a Ditto with a 31, but not brace the 31. I actually need to brace the defense and raise the defense in this Pokemon, so I end up with a 31 HP, 30 defense, and then high special defense Abra or humanoid age group Pokemon properly. The gender for this will not matter since I don't quite have the 2x31s that I obviously need quite yet, so we're gonna go ahead and just go through with this and hope for the best. And then now I'm going to need a 31 speed egg group breeder, I believe, or 31 attack to get the proper stats on this next Abra to then breed with this Abra. We're creating a breeder for a breeder for a breeder for a breeder for a breeder, but then a mistake to put that breeder back, but for a breeder, and then for our final breed on Urkelade. And to add insult to injury, I now need to make a breeder for my breeder Abra. So now I need to go grab this Machop with 31 attack and this Ditto with 31 defense, breed them together, and that should look like this. However, I can't go through with this breed yet because I don't know what gender I need it to be. This will give me a 31 defense, 31 attack Machop. I don't even need the defense to be 31. I'm not planning to carry over that stat. I'm just trying to get a Machop with 31 attack and then 25 plus defense and special defense. That's all I really need here. But first, we need to wait for this Abra to hatch. As you can probably tell, I'm losing my mind a little bit here. Too much breeding does that to a person. Eventually, you end up cracking the egg inside of your skull. But we've made amazing progress. Like, insanely good Pokemon have just been put onto the account in the past hour or two. As well as, I'm honestly surprised, I only spent about 200,000 Pokeyen. I didn't actually spend nearly as much as I would expect, which is amazing. All right, and there is our Abra, looking really good from what I can see. 31 HP, 30 defense, 29 Sp.Atk, very high defenses, which is important. I'm really trying to keep these Ralts defenses high. I mean, look at them. They're already so darn good. All right, but this Abra came out female. Let me go ahead and see what this Machop breed looks like, just so I can make sure everything is actually correct, 'cause I'm a little worried. If I pay for this to come out male, I'm just worried mistakes can just happen. I should be able to HP brace the Abra, breed with the Machop, attack brace the Machop, get myself a 3 times 31, 3 times 31 breeder. That will be... Oh my goodness. Did I make another mistake? Or am I just not done yet? No, it'll be a 2 times 31. I think I'm just not done. I think that's the... I didn't do anything wrong though, did I? I think it's just a really, really long breed. The 31 defense you could ignore. It's kind of throwing me off. I'm just trying to breed a 2 times 31 Pokemon. But we'll eventually 3 times 31. And the 3 times 31 has to be in speed. I think it's just a really long process. I don't think I messed up here. I could be mistaken. I think it's just an incredibly long, stressful process. So what I need to do now is I'm creating the 2 times 31 with the correct stats. And I need to eventually turn that into a 3 times 31. Yes. So it's just, so I have to do everything. Basically, I have to do everything that I just did all over again. Breeding on the Iron Man is so difficult, but that's what makes those... No. Wait, I totally forgot. Wait. I forgot. I totally forgot I had this other Abra. I forgot that this is the second part. I already did the first half. There's so much to keep track of when breeding on an Iron Man account, dude. Wow. Okay, no, we're there. We're so there. And this is the earnest and honest part of my videos. I try to show you guys everything. I could just cut all of this and be like, oh yeah, guys, I actually never made any mistakes. I had it all in line the entire time. Like, if you guys make the same mistakes, like, you're just stupid, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, no. Breeding is hard. There's so many mistakes that happen on an Iron Man account. You have to account for so many things. If you're also breeding on an Iron Man account, give me your thoughts. Give me your comments. I would love to see how people are enjoying, entertaining. Like, what are your thoughts about breeding on an Iron Man account if you're playing this same kind of account style? Am I overplaying it? Am I saying it's harder than it actually is? Am I just really bad at it? It's very possible. I'd love to see people's feedback, but I think I do a pretty decent job. I do get distracted, do not get me wrong, but there's just a lot of moving parts. And when you can't just go buy the perfect breeders off the GTL and you have to use what you have laying around in your boxes, it is so much harder to find those puzzle pieces. But I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing me say that over and over again. All right, but with this other Abra, this should come out perfect. I should be able to go ahead and get 31 HP, 31 attack on this Machop / Abra breeder, and then I'll basically breed these together. I'll brace the speed, I'll brace the HP, the defenses will carry. This will be a perfect breeder for my Ralts. I have to just make sure I pay for these 2 massive breeds to come out male as a good breeder for the Ralts. And this is the problem with Ditto farming is, even as many Dittos as you farm, right? Dittos can only help you make other breeders, if that makes sense. You're not going to catch 3 times 31 Dittos to breed with this Ralts, or at least not very commonly, right? Like, you're not going to get 3 times 31, 4 times 31, even 2 times 31 breeders a lot of the time. Most of the time, you're using your Dittos to make other breeders. So you still have to have a lot of egg group mons. Like, I've ran into problems in this video having enough like humanoid, chaos, whatever Pokemon to actually make the breeder. So you still have to have a lot of true Pokemon as well as a lot of Dittos. You just need a lot of everything to make good IV Pokemon on the Iron Man, which is what takes up so much PC space. All right, but our Machop hatched. I went ahead and bought the braces, and here is what the breed is looking like. We have a chance to roll that 31, but I don't need to once again. I need to go ahead and make sure I pay for this thing to be male, so I can go ahead and do that properly. This will end up being a perfect breeder with this Abra. Yup, everything checks out. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's just go through with this, and then we have one more final breed with that Abra, with this Abra, and then we'll have the perfect breeder for our Ralts, which we'll have to make sure, once again, we can't make mistakes here. We have to make sure we make the next like 2 or 3 breeds male. That one had to be male. This next breed also has to be male. And then we need to breed the Ralts, and the Ralts also has to come out male, because only only male Ralts can end up evolving into Gallade. Really glad we took the time to put Shadow Sneak on this thing. That was an egg move, and this thing is going to end up being an incredibly powerful Pokemon. We put a lot of time into. Glad we got our egg moves on it. All right, now while I'm waiting for that other breed to hatch, I'm going to go ahead and just go through with another little random breed, consuming Pokemon in my boxes. I'm going to go ahead and do this Wurmple breed. This will make a good bug egg group Pokemon that is a great special attacking egg group breeder, or special attack breeder. So we have the HP. The weirdest thing on this whole breed is I actually am going to go ahead and Everstone the nature early on and go for timid. That will give me a timid, 31 speed, 25 plus special attack and Sp.Atk Pokemon. The defense will need to be fixed, and I'm hoping the HP high rolls. If it doesn't, That's okay. We'll just work on that in the future, but that is just another breed to go through with and let hatch passively, clearing up our box space. I'm getting a little scared, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of am already, it sounds fucked up, but I am already running out of Dittos as breeders. I know it sounds crazy, I still have a fair bit in my boxes obviously, but I'm running out of perfect pairings and like really good mons that I need to keep an eye out for. Maybe it's just like the things I'm searching for, but I'm running lower and lower on the Dittos that I need. But yet my boxes are still clogged. That's just the you know, once again, the toughest thing. Boxes are clogged, yet I still don't have what I need. It's difficult to get everything to work. All right, but our Abra did just go ahead and hatch. So now we have, it's almost done, boys. I need a HP brace and a speed brace. After I get this Ralts done, I will absolutely be taking a nice deserved break from breeding because I'm getting a little, you know, wires crossed here. Let's go ahead and be very careful with this. We have an Abra. I believe this needs to come out as male. Once again, like I said previously, this will come out as 3 times 31. Yeah, we did miss that defense roll, but that's okay. That was always going to be that way. So this will mostly come out 28. It seems like 31 speed. I'll have this. I'll brace the speed. This will be beautiful. Oh, perfect. Should come out as a male breeder. And that'll be, then I'll breed these together. It'll be the very last thing for a future UT Glade. All right, the Wurmple did hatch. We didn't roll the HP, unfortunately, but that's okay. That was bound to happen. We do have now a timid nature bug age group breeder that will get, you know, bred up over time passively to be an even better breeder. So I'm gonna go ahead and just throw that back in the PC and then eventually throw it over, or throw it right now over to the breeder's box. That still does clear out at least one space when going through with that breed, which is nice. Now, I will say one of the massive benefits of getting a certain breed done, right? Getting a Pokemon fully created is that then you can go ahead and grab a bunch of those other species of that mon. So for example, we finished a Honchkrow breed today. I don't need to keep this Adamant Murkrow, right? This could either get released or bred up into something else. So I'm actually going to go ahead and breed this Murkrow with this Zubat, getting myself a 25 plus attack Zubat and 31 speed. Obviously, Zubat, not the most powerful Pokemon in the world, but Crobat, kind of another situation. Crobat's actually a pretty cool Pokemon. Now, is he used offensively like this? I mean, usually, yeah. So I'm excited to have a 31 speed Adamant Crobat and try to get some value out of him. I don't know if it'll be the best breed in the world to have, but it'll be a cool thing to go ahead and EV train in attack and speed. I could definitely see him being usable in raids, setting up Tailwind and doing some damage afterwards. I'm very happy with that quick little breed to clear up some space and get some stuff done. All right, now we have our Abra. Ooh, and this should be like the final. This should be it. This should be it. Let's see. Let's go grab the brace. Yup, this is going to be beautiful, man. I put so much effort, actually. So many hours of catching Pokemon. Not only the effort breeding, right? You have to factor in, like, all of the hours. Like, how do you even... It wouldn't surprise me if 10 to 15, I don't want to say 20, but like 10 to 15 hours were put into this Ralts, right? All the... Maybe 10 to 20, man. All the Pokeyen for the braces, all the Everstones I had to farm from the Graveler hordes. That alone is like, you get like what, 8 an hour. All the Pokemon I had to catch. This is going to be a beautiful Pokemon. Adamant Nature, Shadow, the specific like Shadow Sneak Shuppet. So much went into this Ralts breed. I don't think it would be an over exaggeration to say that this one Ralts, this one delayed PVM and raid Pokemon took me 10 to 20 hours to achieve with everything factored in. That's how tough it is on the Iron Man account. Versus on a main account, it would be about 1 hour, probably 1 hour. You could buy the same Ralts within 1 hour of money making on the GTL. 1 hour versus 20. That's how drastic the difference is between a main and an iron. All right, and here is our Zubat hatch. Ooh, turned out pretty good. Some of the stats seem to have high rolled. I'm going to throw this over in the comps box and just EV train that in 2v2 attack, 2v2 speed later. And there it is, the Ralts, the big kicker of this whole opening section to the Iron Man account. Screw keeping that in the PC. Let me just see this beautiful thing. Adamant Nature, 26 plus defense, 27 SPDF, 31 HP, 31 attack, 31 speed, Shadow Sneak Egg move. It's ready. It is finally ready. It's going to be a beautifully powerful Pokemon. This thing will have sharpness, which will be incredibly, incredibly good. And this will also get thrown over in our comps box. And would you look at this? We created 4 new ultra powerful Pokemon, as well as a few other breeders, but 4 complete Pokemon at the start of an Iron Man episode. This is going to be a banger episode because we just got a shit ton done in a very little amount of time. We have a whole week's ahead of us, fellas. And speaking of, there's actually a Starmie horde over here. I would love to go get myself a quick Starmie. Some goodly statted, well-statted Staryus would be amazing. Very powerful Pokemon, very difficult to breed up since it is a genderless Pokemon, so you either need other Staryus or Dittos to breed it up. If I could get a really decent Staryu, these could honestly be a fantastic use of my God Breeder Dittos. I caught 2 different Dittos, 131 speed, 20 plus in every single stat for a special attacker, and then this Ditto, Timid. This is the kind of Ditto you save for a Staryu, for, I mean, a Gengar if I could evolve it, but obviously I can't do that. So any sort of genderless, incredibly powerful special attacking Pokemon, or just incredibly powerful special attacking Pokemon. Obviously, in the case of Gengar, not actually genderless, but you get what I'm saying. This is supposed to be saved for something special, and those Starmies could be that special thing. Let's go catch them. Very weird sprite to see in the overworld, hovering on top of the water like this. All right, here's the first Starmie caught. Mild Nature 28. What the fuck? I mean, this could just be a really budget Starmie right here. Mild Nature plus attack minus defense, I believe. Not a great Starmie, right? But like usable in some sort of shitty PVM since if I needed something for like Battle Tower, for example. 28 attack, 28 speed. We have 3 more to catch. We also got a star piece, which is kind of neat. You can sell that for like 5,000 Pokeyen, so some free yen. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is one of my Starmie catches? That's ludicrous. I might be able to pair this with the God Breeder, and I was like fishing for content. I was joking when I said I could just go catch one of the 4 Starmies and get one good enough to breed with the God Breeder to have the perfect Starmie Pokemon. What the fuck did I just witness? I can Everstone my God Breeder Ditto, breed it with the Starmie, and then pop the hell off from there. That is insanity. The Iron Man good luck continues in the area where I've been super lucky, catching good Pokemon, getting shinies, all sorts of things. I'm hoping the bad luck comes to an end on the legendaries, but you've got to appreciate all this disgusting good luck when you can. Wow. For those who don't know, Starmie is an incredibly powerful Pokemon, really well statted all around. A very decent PVM Pokemon, not the best PVM Pokemon, kind of doesn't really do anything well enough, but an incredibly powerful OU Pokemon that has been meta in the OU tier since I started playing PokeMMO. That's how good Starmie is and how well it is held up. There are very few Pokemon that were in OU when I started playing in PokeMMO in 2013 that are still in that tier to this day. Fuck it, like Marowak was an OU threat when I started playing PokeMMO way back in the day in 2013, to give you an idea of how much things have changed. Yet Starmie, after 13 years, 12 years, still manages to have a 52% win rate and 20% usage in PvP, in the highest tier in OU. Through tons of different builds like Timid, Bold, Life Orb, Leftovers, Natural Cure, and Analytics seeing use. I would love to get myself an Analytics Starmie at some point, but I doubt that day is today. We even got a 1x31 Sp.Atk one. We will take that all day. Why not? Not as good as the other one, in my personal opinion. I'm going to head over to Island 4 and just see what this breed would look like and see if it's worth doing right now or just at a later time. I can go ahead and just release this Starmie. This one is not worth keeping. It has no good stats, so see you later. But this Starmie is fucking godlike. I'm going to pull that out for a quick sec and see if it's worth breeding right now. And to be totally honest, I think it might be, dude. I think this might be time. The only problem is that it doesn't have 31 speed, so what would end up happening is I would go ahead and breed. I would Everstone the Ditto, right? Get that 31, get that Timid nature, but then what? Not have 31 speed and just have amazing stats, but it's not quite there. Do I really do that? Do I look for another breeder for the Starmie really quick before going through with that breed? Do I save this for a quick sec? Do I have other Dittos that can even match this situation? Let's find out. Oh my god. I might actually have the perfect breeder. Are you kidding me? I can do it. I can actually do something disgusting. What I can go ahead and do is take this noted Ditto, save this God Breeder. I actually don't need to use this God Breeder Ditto quite yet. I can save that for the future. I'll be using my other God Breeder Ditto, the slightly less good one because it is not Timid nature, it is Rash. And what I'll be doing is I will be special attack bracing the Starmie. I will be Everstoning this Ditto, putting Timid Nature onto it, and then I could breed it with this Ditto, Speed Bracing the Speed, and Everstoning once again, creating a 31 speed Timid Starmie with 20 plus in every other single stat that it needs. That is ridiculous. I know that I said I would stop breeding today. I thought I was done, but I can't pass this up. This breed is too good to be true, man. This is why it is so unbelievably worth to go check your swarms, at least on an Ironman account. You just never know when you'll catch an insane breeder just like this one. Timid Nature, 25 plus in almost every stat that it needs. Yup, correct. Go through with that breed. Beautiful. Now, I will say I did make kind of a mistake. I actually should have scrolled down and checked what egg moves Starmie needs, but thankfully it doesn't seem like it actually needs any. Flash doesn't really have any egg moves because it's a genderless Pokemon. I still should check. You know, genderless Pokemon, so it's not going to have any. It's not possible. So I got lucky on that, though. I should have definitely thought about it. Egg moves are super important, guys. Don't sleep on them. I think it's the #1 mistake almost every single player makes, myself included, is forgetting to check egg moves before going through with a breed. Certain Pokemon are straight up unusable without the proper egg moves. You have to keep that in mind. All right, our first Staryu breed is done. We can throw that over the PC and actually go ahead and just do this UI properly. I don't really take full advantage of the new breeding UI. I'm just not super used to it, honestly. It's just the boomer in me still likes running over to the PC and grabbing the Pokemon out of them. You don't have to do that like this, but you can go ahead and, like, for example, like grab the Pokemon from your PC, throw the items on them like this, and boom, we have ourselves a Staryu with 20 plus HP, defense, Sp.Atk, Sp.Def, and then 31 speed and Timid Nature. I'm going to put it in a Luck Tree Ball, and that's one of the most powerful Pokemon in all of PokeMMO done on the Iron Man. All right, and our final Staryu breed is done. We're gonna send that over to the box. Go grab it ASAP. Which one is it? We have a few Staryus in here. Boom, it is this one. Timid. The defense low rolled a bit. I guess it's a little lower. It makes sense. Okay. 20 plus HP, 20 plus defense, 27 Sp.Atk, 28 Sp.Def, 31 speed, Timid Nature. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Staryu. Gonna be moved over to the UT box. So far we've created 5 raid and or PvP, PVM Pokemon in this episode. That's ludicrous this early on. All right, but before I take a well-deserved break, there is still one more thing I want to go do. I'm going to go catch a single Kangaskhan over at a swarm in Unova because I need it for my Pokedex, and Kangaskhan's actually a pretty difficult Pokemon to get in your Pokedex, so I'd be really happy to go ahead and get it quickly in a swarm. As you can see, look at this. All these, like, super rare, very rare, Safari Zone, lore only, like, very rare encounters. So if I can go pick one up really quickly, I would love that. They're not great breeders because Kangaskhan is a female-only species, so you can't actually breed up the stats unless you just want a competitive Kangaskhan, which is relevant in NU to some extent. Not as much nowadays as it used to be, but it's still something that I might want, for example, like a Boomer NU Pokemon. But I'm going to go catch one of these really quick. Or I could run into every single trainer on the way to the Kangaskhan Swarm. I guess that works as well. And is honestly some well-needed karma for not completing these during the storyline. All right, there's that Kangaskhan catch. I don't even really care if it has IVs. If it has IVs, hell yeah, I can use it as a breeder down the road for a nice Kangaskhan. Love the Pokemon. And of course, what? 329s is ludicrous. And of course, the Iron Man just can't stop. I don't know what to say. These are ridiculous stats. 29 attack, 29 defense, 29 Sp.Def, 31 speed, just needs HP to be a competitive Kangaskhan. It even has the 31 in the right placement. What the My IV luck on this account has just been ridiculous. I'm scared to see where that RNG evens out. We've been super dry for legendaries, but we gotta appreciate the good luck, dude. That is beautiful. Hell yeah, man. What do you say we end off the night with some relaxing EV training? I can now EV train all 5 Pokemon at once using my beautiful new Pikachu strategy with the Light Ball, Sweet Scent, Surf, and Discharge all on one Pokemon, and then having the Fly Ocarina from that one catch event I was able to place 4th place in with that Cofagrigus. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my XP amplifier on before I don't forget, because I feel like that's going to happen. So we're going to have that on, and we have our, first things first, our Vulpix over here, Modest Nature, 31 in 3 stats, Sp.Atk, Sp.Def, speed, beautiful drought, hidden ability access. It's going to be an amazing Ninetales for raids. We have our Larvesta that I'm really excited for, Modest Nature, 25 plus in every single stat that it needs, and then 31 speed to round that off. Down here going to be a beautiful Larvesta or Volcarona for raids and PvP. And we have our Naive Zapdos over here, 31 Sp.Atk, 31 speed. You know how it came out. We'll adjust that at one point with one day with elemental orbs. We can get it nice and perfect. And then we have our Staryu we just bred recently. 20 plus in every stat that it needs, 31 speed and timid nature, as well as our Horsey, modest nature, 31 Sp.Atk, 31 speed. These are just, I mean, I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy. I'm so proud. Beautiful Pokemon to have on a freaking Iron Man account, dude. Oh, it feels so good. I'm going to be EV training at Heatmore. I really like this spot. It's a really, really, really good shiny. I like hunting here whenever possible. I'm going to grab these. There's a few Pokeballs I'm going to grab actually where I can. Grab that free Great Ball. But right here, we can go ahead and pop our Horde. Lead with our new Light Ball Pikachu. And I'm going to be surfing down these hordes of Heatmore. I would love to do more XP training and hordes right now, since there is a global 10% boost towards shinies for the next 18 days or so still. I would love to try to take advantage of that and do as much XP training and training in general as much as possible. So you might see me do a bit more of that, as well as just shiny hunting maybe on the account for fun would be awesome. Now that we have the new encounter counter, as well as the new, when you catch a shiny, it says like, oh, it was caught at X encounters or whatever. So that'll be a blast. But I'm gonna get started. This is the Sp.Atk EV Training spot. Big fan of this spot. Heatmore is a really cool shiny, even if it's not the most effective or usable in a lot of instances, but it's a beautiful shiny, a nice black shiny. And then I'll see you guys over at Speed EV Training. I might switch over there and just see you guys when I'm done EV training these mons, honestly. Have a nice little chill night, training up, making some progress on the iron. All right, and with this final horde, Sp.Atk will be done for these 5 amazing Pokemon. I'm going to go to sleep, wake up tomorrow, and finish them off with speed. Here it is, boom, 252. It was cool to go for Heatmore for a little bit. You know what? While we're here, I'm going to go ahead and quick ball one of these as well. Get it logged in the Pokedex. If I'm going to, you know, do hordes here, XP train against them, might as well take 1 second to run back and forth and catch one. Or run into a Rufflet single encounter. Doubt I have this in my Pokedex, and it's asleep. Hopefully should be able to quick ball this. I don't actually have my... Dude, I just realized. Actually, ooh. I don't know if catching a Pokemon gives EVs to your party. Something a PokeMMO veteran I feel like should know. You do get XP, but I don't know if you get EVs. Let's just go ahead and test it. I don't think you do. I think you need to kill the Pokemon. But let's see. A catch does distribute XP. Let's see. It looks like no EVs were gained. Yeah, as I expected. Okay, beautiful. That does add Rufflet to the Pokedex really quickly. It's just a really, really easy little catch. I'm going to do the same for Heatmore here in a quick sec. Or Volibee as well. I mean, why not? I think this mod might have a decently difficult catch, so if I can't get it with the Quick Ball, then I'm just going to run. Not the power of Quick Ball. Undefeated. That did work. That'll add that to the Pokedex as well and give us nothing in terms of IVs. That's okay. Running into everything except for a Heatmore. I did one encounter before to make sure I could actually get 252. Otherwise, I would have ended up with an improper amount of EVs. I would have ended up with just 250, but a fracture encounter as well. I'm just doing the quick ball strats. This shows how easy it is to get Pokedex entries in regions that I haven't really caught things and played to a fleshed out degree. Wasn't able to quick ball this, so I am going to go ahead and go for the runaway here in a quick sec. Not going to spend time trying to catch without a proper catching mon in my party. And there's the Heatmore finally. This should just be an easy one. One quick ball should be plenty for this little anteater. And there we go. There is the catch. That adds to the Pokedex, puts me up to 308, 309, I believe. 308 in the Pokedex, and no IVs as per usual. That's okay. It's honestly, I'd almost rather that. I can then just go release those few Pokemon that I caught and just clear up PC space right after getting their value from the Pokedex entry. All right, but sounds like it's a good time to go take a quick rest, and I will see you guys tomorrow, probably for Rapidash Speed EV training over here in Unova. Alrighty, it is the next morning. It's time to start EV training, Speed EV training over here in Unova over at Rapidash. Hoping I don't see a shiny. I've gotten 2 lucky on the account so far. I don't want 2 shiny Rapidash / Ponyta on both the accounts that I have. That would be a little funny, but let's just jump into it. It's still a really good spot to EV train because the XP is really high. All right, that was the final horde. All of these Pokemon are now done being EV trained. They just need to be XP trained up to various levels. Volcarona will eventually need up to level 80 for proper raids. Kingdra, I think I'll only get up to level 50 or so. You shouldn't need to actually get it up higher for raids. Once again, raid Pokemon, you want to be around level 80. PvP Pokemon, you only need level 50 or so. So whatever works out. So Vulpix will need to be level 80. Zapdos will need to be level 80 one day. All these mons need to be passively XP trained. Starmie most likely would be good at just level 50, but it's one of those mons that is just so versatile, so good in different PVM settings, like various things like the Morimoto or Cynthia Refight. So we might end up passively getting that up to level 100. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it into a Starmie as well right now, just so I don't forget. And then beautiful, there we go. Timid, it looks so good, dude. Timid, 31 speed Starmie. This literally gives me massive, massive nostalgia because this was the Pokemon back in 2013. And it was way harder to get back in 2013 because breeding didn't work the way it does back then. It was a lot more random in terms of the IV rolls. So most people were just trying their luck at catching a 31 speed plus timid Starmie. And that was so much around the PvP metagame, was remembering the usernames and figuring out who had access to 31 speed timid Starmies. It was a big competitive advantage. It was a different era in PokeMMO, man. But the question is, what now? What do we do next in this current era of PokeMMO? Honestly, I'm currently just doing timestamps for my Sinnoh storyline guide, so I need something decently chill. I'm going to go ahead and do some shiny hunting. I think I'm going to go shiny hunt over at Victory Road in Unova. It's going to be the Deano/Durant spot. I love Durant as a cool shiny, but it wouldn't be that useful. He is used sometimes, occasionally in raids as a bug-type attacker, but I would love a shiny Deano and try to have a shiny Hydreigon that would actually be relevant in certain PVM, you know, whether it's the Pumpkin fight, whether it's the Heatran raid, or whatever other raids it could be used for. It'd be really cool to have a good shiny Hydreigon, although the odds of it coming out good are kind of unlikely. For those who don't know, this is what shiny hunting at this location looks like. You actually need to fly over to it every single time because otherwise it's not really at a spot that you can just like run to really quickly, but you can fly to it, right? So you head inside the cave, you go ahead and pop your sweet scents. It'd be cool. I could arguably Modest synchronize here, but I don't even want to do that because then if you get a Durant, you don't want to synchronize Modest on a Durant, right? So whenever you're doing split spots like this, you don't really want to synchronize hunt, as well as I don't think my Modest Pokemon's high enough level, honestly, without a choice Scarf. If it had a choice scarf, it might actually be fast enough to do this properly, but without that, I think it's a bit of a problem. This should be, I believe, 50-50 split with Deano and Durant. I can actually bring up the extra info on the in-game encounter counter and sort of keep track of that. I'm curious to see how the numbers look. But keep in mind, I'm starting this at 4,000 encounters. I'll probably see you guys at like 5,000 or something like that. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit of shiny hunting to pass the time. Okay, I know it's a little goofy to only do about 200 encounters. I think less than that, and then just go immediately stop shiny hunting. But my timestamps took way faster than I expected, okay? So you know what? We got it done. That's all that matters. Just wanted to pass a little bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and go do a gym rerun. I don't usually do my gym reruns on days where I don't stream. But you know what? I need the Poke-in. I want to build up the capital. It's a perfect day to do so. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to go ahead and throw my Zapdos over my party for this run and get some extra XP on it as well. Starting this run at about 1.17, so yeah, 1,170,000 Pokeyen is the start. Zapdos is level 54 at the very start. I'm going to go get to the start of the run, pop by a Millet Coin, and just go ahead and run through it. I need my Pokeyen more than ever because I have a specific team that I want to build maybe after this gym run. We'll see if I have time today. It is my Sunday, my one day off, but I'm just enjoying playing the account, so probably a good sign. I'm going to go ahead and start this, but I have a team that I want to build. Actually, Jinxed Boone, fellow PokeMMO YouTuber, uploaded a guide today at my time of need when I wanted to learn the Ho-Oh Refight. There's a new guide with a really easy 3 Pokemon team, and I already have one of the Pokemon created in the Chandelure, so I'd have to create myself a Rotom Heat and a Lunatone. So I'm doing a little bit of Ho-Oh Refight research on the side. Definitely check out Jinxed Boone. He is a great resource when it comes to PVM guides, raid stuff, and boss fights in PokeMMO. Very clear, detailed, and concise guides and content. Also, one more fun fact. This is actually gym run number 20 on the account, which is really cool, man. We've done 20 gym runs on the account so far. That's 20 days of gym running. Alright, I'm ending the gym run number 20 with Zapdos at level 67, gained a fair bit of XP there, and up to 1.425 million Pokeyen. But I'm not quite ready to start breeding for that Ho-Oh Refight team just yet. I'm going to go do some passive XP training over in Hoenn, over at the Battle Frontier, the usual spot. Tentacruel is just too good for XP, and I don't have access to Mount Silver yet. Once we get access to Mount Silver, that'll be really nice. That'll definitely up our XP a ton, but we're pretty far from it, so I'm not going to rush for it or worry about it quite yet, even though Pokedex progress is one of my #1 priorities right now. I still have some XP training to do, so I'm going to head over to Hoenn, turn on the Re-Amplifier, and just passively gain some XP. A lot of Pokemon in my party will all be gaining XP. It won't just be the Starmie in the Seadra that we actually bred recently. It's also going to be my Pikachu. This is level 100, but my Breloom might also get leveled up to level 100, and my HM Dragonite, I definitely want to slowly, passively get to level 100 so I can use it more properly for these exact situations so it's not soaking up XP in the future. I feel like I'm never going to run out of enough XP training to do on the Iron Man account. When you have to create all of your own Pokemon from scratch, you can't buy any Pokemon, you know, at level 100. You can't just skip all that time. So you have to do so much XP training, which is why it's so important. I've been putting a lot of pressure and prioritization on preparing for the upcoming event season. And I don't always remind you guys why. One of the biggest reasons is because the sealed product, the boxes from the upcoming event season, the pumpkin goodie bags or the Halloween bags, the Xmas presents, the Santa presents, the Lunar New Year envelopes, everything have a chance of dropping things like XP charms. And XP charms might be one of the most important items on the entire account. I had to do so much XP training, and every single 100% XP charm represents 1 hour of my time saved. And that is so goddamn important. All right, my Breloom leveled up to level 98 and is notoriously one of the slowest Pokemon in all of Pokemon to get levels on. So I'm going to go ahead and just use 2 rare candies. Ooh, I only have 3. To be fair, I didn't realize I had that few, but I'm going to go ahead and use 2 rare candies to get him up to level 100, and boom, there it is. 2 of my very few rare candies used, but I think it's worth it. I could actually always payday pick up or fish them up later on at certain spots like Dragon Spiral Tower over in Unova if I do want to farm them. But this will allow more XP to go onto my other Pokemon that aren't level 100 in my party using the Amplifiers. So now more XP will get distributed over to my Dragonite, Starmie, Seadra, and even my Pikachu in the front. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and stop here for now. For XP, we got our Starmie up to level 50, so it is actually PvP ready. I'll have to moveset it, of course, though. Probably go some offensive set for the most part. And we also have our Seadra, nicknamed Corsola, because it used our great Corsola catch as the breeder. I need to go ahead and actually use a Dragon Scale on it, and that should evolve it into Kingdra. Yup, a lot of those items that you have to equip to them and then trade to evolve in the past has now been changed to you use the item on it to evolve. That was changed about, I want to say, a year ago, so it's still mostly new to the game, but there we go. Now we have a competitive Kingdra as well, which looks super fucking sick. All right, we have an alpha Victreebell spawn. Honestly, a fantastic plant egg group breeder. I don't think it has any relevant hidden ability that I can remember, but I'm going to go ahead and go for the catch really quick. It is female, so not as great of a breeder, but will still be a good breeder as a breeder for another breeder, if that makes sense. I'm not feeling great today, unfortunately, so I am not going to be going live, and I don't think I'll be playing too much PokeMMO today. My next priority is still working on the Lunatone, Rotom Heat, and Chandelure Ho-Oh Refight team, which I'm really excited for, because I think now that I have Johto done, and I have a lot of other things done, honestly, it puts me in a lot better position to actually go for that fight and get legendary lures. And then using legendary lures to go for Entei or other hunts in the future, it actually will save time versus having to defeat Johto just for that purpose, then to make the team, yada yada yada. Also, the fact that the team is so easy to make, it's only 3 Pokemon, I'm really excited for. But my point is that it might have to wait for another day. All right, a pretty tough catch, honestly. Took 21 turns, but I just couldn't chip it down with the leech life. It was a difficult one, but there we go. Relaxed Victreebell, 2x31. Oh my, and the stats are beautiful. Look at the placement. 31 attack, 30 speed, 31 Sp.Atk, missing the Sp.Atk, which is perfect. This will be for a physical plant attacker, which, to be fair, there aren't a whole lot of, so you generally want to be special there, but still, this is such good IVs for that specific thing that I'll happily take it. That's honestly awesome. All right, even though I'm feeling decently sickly today, I have a small burst of energy, so let's go use it. I've got my quiet synchronized Kadabra over here with Smoke Ball. I'm hoping that is enough to actually be able to get me in and out of the fight safely. I don't know if it'll fully work, but we're going to try it. I'm over in Hoenn at Falabor Town. I'm going to run down to Meteor Falls. I'm hoping to farm at least 1 Lunatone. The idea is to get a quiet or modest Lunatone and then build it up. I need 31 special attack and then decent bulk in the defenses. And it's sort of a specific build that I need for the Ho-Oh Refight, at least for the strategy I'll be attempting. Once again, I already have 1 out of the 3 Pokemon built in the Chandelure. I also need to make myself a decent Rotom Heat with good stats, as well as the Lunatone we're going for now. The Lunatone should be pretty easy. It doesn't need too many stats, but I want to hopefully get a synchronized roll on the nature, and that's going to make things a lot easier. I can always breed up the stats and the IVs a fair bit easier after that, but getting the nature is going to be the tougher part to work on. Thankfully, to farm Lunatone, I don't think I actually have to go to the deeper part of Meteor Falls. I think I can actually just farm it up here towards the front, maybe a little bit deeper into the cave, but I actually don't want to go towards the back entrance or back location where you would normally farm Bagon and Beldum, because there's only going to spawn Lunatone there at night usually. All right, but I am only getting Zubat here, so I might go a little bit deeper into the cave. You actually can get Lunatone on the water here, fun fact. I don't know what that, solar rock is doing. I guess lunar rock is doing in the water here in Meteor Falls, but technically you can get it here. Okay, all I'm seeing is Golbat and Zubat so far, unfortunately. Maybe I will try heading to the back of the cave and hope for better luck. I don't know. I haven't farmed outside of that back spot for years, so maybe I'm just mistaken. But I swear you could get Lunatone and stuff out in this normal area. This is a great example of how, like, playing on a main account doesn't teach you all the information you would normally expect to know when playing Pokemon. You only do certain activities. There's a Solrock, though. A very normal-looking Solrock, I might add. Now, I may not need a Solrock right now for PVM, but you know what? I do need it for the Pokedex, so we'll take the time to catch it. All right, there is the catch. Let's go ahead and see. Honestly, the stats are decent. I'm definitely going to be keeping this, actually. So, fun fact, I believe it was either Solrock or Lunatone. I think it was Solrock that was actually meta during a very niche-specific raid. I even forget the raid, but if my memory is correct, I believe Solrock was meta for at least one raid at one point in PokeMMO for a very niche situation. But, so I do want to keep one in my PC because otherwise, I guess I could go catch one in the wild. I've thought about that recently. Like, if something happens, there's a situation where a Pokemon is meta in a raid and I don't have it in my PC, is it better to keep it in the PC and take up that PC slot, or just force myself to go catch a wild one in the future? I feel like catching a wild one might be worth the time. First, the PC slot, I guess, is like the two things to factor in. Just a great example of an Iron Man problem that I think a lot of us still have to come to terms with. And there is the Lunatone encounter. I only need at least one caught. I do have to breed these up with Dittos. This is a genderless species, similar to the Solrock situation, right? Like, if I ever need a good Solrock, I have to breed one up from scratch and hopefully have the Dittos in my boxes to actually do so. With Lunatone here, I'm hoping to get a synchronized nature. I didn't even leave my synchronized Pokemon on accident. I brought it all this way. I mean, maybe I'll just get lucky and roll a modest or quiet nature just off the bat without the synchronized. That'd be incredibly lucky, or get like one stat. If I can get a Lunatone with 15 plus in HP defense, special defense, that'd be amazing. 31 Sp.Atk and or modest or quiet nature. And one of three of those things would be phenomenal. I'm just hoping for something on this one Lunatone catch. All right, here it is, moment of truth. Our first Lunatone caught. I might sit here and try to farm more if I need to. Let's go ahead and see. Docile nature, special attack is high, but I'm pretty sure you want 31. Defense and Sp.Def are high enough. I do like that. This thing probably could be bred. It depends on if I have a modest Ditto. It also comes down to, you know what? I might just go call this a day. I might just go breed this. I think this could be enough. The special attack is high. I know 31 is definitely ideal, but on an Ironman account, if I need to switch it down to like 28, it probably can work. Let's see what Ditto breeders I have for this. You also want the speed on your Lunatone to be somewhat slow, since it actually is a trick room setter for the strategy we're using it for. I think I found what I'm going for. I think I'm going to go ahead and rock this breed. It's obviously not amazing, as we can see, but I don't need this to be amazing. I just need it to work. Let me buy a quick special attack brace as well. That'll cost me a quick little 10k. Plop that onto the Lunatone, go with the Ditto. Everstone is on the Ditto. We've been popping through our Everstones pretty aggressively recently, but it's felt pretty good getting a bunch of Pokemon prepared in our boxes for the far future. All right, our Lunatone will come out hopefully 19 HP, 15 plus defense, 15 plus special defense, low speed, which is good, modest nature, 28 Sp.Atk. I think this is what I need. It's very weird, like who on a PokeMMO account would ever breed this Lunatone and be like, ah yes, that's the stats I'm looking for. This is the Pokemon I want. This is not a very powerful Pokemon, and it's not a very powerful species. It's not very powerful stats. It's not very powerful anything, but it's gonna work exactly for what we need it to for this niche purpose, which is the beauty of Pokemon. While that egg is hatching, I'm gonna get started on my Rotom breed as well and see what we have access to. I have 2 total Rotoms in my boxes. I'm hoping one of them has decent enough stats for this. I honestly probably want to use the worst Rotom for this situation, since it's going to be a Rotom Heat, which is not the most powerful Pokemon by any means. I'd rather keep a better IV'd Rotom for like a Rotom Wash or a base form Rotom for things like OU or NU proper PvP. Rotom Heat, I believe, is a UU Pokemon, and I don't know anything about UU, nor do I care about learning about it, unfortunately. Sorry to the UU fans out there. Now, the Rotom needs exactly the same stats as the Lunatone, 15 plus in the defenses and HP, as well as 31 special attack. And you do want a quiet or modest nature on this thing. You want the Rotom to be slower than your Chandelure, and Chandelure is a decently fast Pokemon at base speed, but Rotom Heat is actually a little bit faster. Chandelure's base stat speed is 80, and Rotom Heat is 86. All right, I do have a quiet Ditto with really nice stats, but unfortunately, this can't transfer over everything this needs here in one breed. I'm gonna have to do multiple different breeds here. If I were to do this breed, I'd be randomly rolling the defenses, which is mostly fine. I'd also be randomly rolling the Sp.Atk though, and that's not okay. I'd have to Everstone the quiet nature, so there's no reason to use this Ditto quite yet. I'm gonna look for another Ditto first. And honestly, this is exactly what I need. A not very good Ditto that kind of gets the job done. That's what you're looking for in these creating a breeder for a breeder type situations. You almost have to keep bad breeders on an Ironman account to be able to breed up Pokemon to match properly with your good breeders, if that makes sense. You can't just go buy a Pokemon that is one stage away from being a perfect breed on the GTL. You have to keep all stages of breeds in your party and in your PC. And that's the weird part about this whole situation. That's why breeding on an Ironman is so different. Now, do I want to go buy a defense brace as well? It's 10,000 Pokeyen. I don't really need to, but you know what? We'll keep the defense high at 29. So here's what the breed is going to look like. First things first, this Rotom with this Ditto, it's going to come out 29 defense, high defenses, hopefully medium roll at least the Sp.Atk there, that'd be fantastic, and then 25 special attack. If this randomly rolls into modest or quiet, or, I mean, even mild or rash, I'd probably just keep it. I think if this thing rolls into a random nature like that, we're probably just good to go. And our Lunatone did hatch. Let's check the stats. Modest nature, we did Everstone, correct? Yeah, modest nature, we Everstoned. Ooh, it looks like the HP did low roll. I could just try it and be okay with that, or, go ahead and try to breed it back up. I think I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, it becomes a matter of if I try it and it doesn't work well against Ho-Oh, I will have to rebreed this in the future, and I'll waste all the time EV training and XP training. I spend so much time training on this account, so maybe I will just try to look for a breeder to pair this up and breed one more time. All right, I thankfully did find just another mediocre / pretty decent Ditto breeder for this. It feels a little rough to waste this thing. It has some pretty good stats and a lot of stats, but it's missing the defenses. It's double stacked on attacks. I don't feel super bad about it, so it could be a lot worse. We're going to go ahead and go through with this. I'm going to put this in a Victreebell because this should be a done breed. 26 HP, 16 plus defense, 16 plus Sp.Def, and then 28 special attack with the modest nature. I just realized something terrible, unfortunately. Following the guide that I'm using, once again, from Jinx Boone, the fellow PokeMMO content creator, I need my Chandelure's defense to be higher than its special defense, otherwise it will draw a Sky Drop attack from the Ho-Oh. Unfortunately, this is not the case. My defense is 182 and my special defense is 186. Now, I could re-EV this thing, but for that, I'd have to get EV reducing berries, which would take multiple days of berry farming, as well as learning the berry farming, as well as getting the seeds. So re-EVing this Chandelure is actually such a problem on the account that it might be better to just rebreed a whole new Chandelure for this situation. I'll also need this Chandelure in the future anyway for the Pumpkin boss fight. I might just try this. If it does not work, if I cannot defeat Ho-Oh, I probably will have to breed a whole new Chandelure. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just see if this works and see if the Sky Drop is totally, destruction against the strategy. Unlucky, but we'll have to figure it out. This is Iron Man problem solving times. All right, our Rotom is hatched. Let's go send that back to the PC and go see how it's looking once again. If it rolled modest or quiet, we're just done. But of course, that would be very lucky. It did not. It came out brave nature. It also, once again, low rolled Sp.Def, I think, similar to the other Pokemon. That is really unfortunate. Okay, so what we have to do from here, we should be able to high roll it, I guess, with the Sp.Def. Damn, the Sp.Def low rolling like that's unfortunate, but we should be able to fix it, I guess. What do I brace here? I have nothing to brace here. I think I just go ahead and let this breed go through. This Ditto is a little funny into this Rotom. I'm Everstoning the Quiet Nature. Let's see what this looks like. Quiet Nature coming through Rotom. 23 to 31 HP. Defense 29. Sp.Def is going to be 14 most likely. I'm hoping that the high HP will just make up for that. And then the special attack will be 25. I'm hoping this should be good enough. I'm just going to go through with this. If we low roll the Sp.Def again, unlucky. 14 should be hopefully good enough with our higher HP. The cool thing about this strat is that you do only need 3 Pokemon, specifically because if you have more than 3 Pokemon in your party, the Ho-Oh will actually whirlwind around your Pokemon and switch their locations, totally fucking up your entire strategy. You know what? The Chandelure that you have to use for this also needs the Flash Fire ability, and I generally prefer Flame Body on my Chandelure. I might just go ahead and start breeding an entirely new Litwick/Chandelure for this strategy. I don't know if the one that I have is going to work. And thankfully, looking through my boxes, I swear I had not checked this yet. I actually do just have a modest Litwick sitting around. Okay, this might not be too shabby at all. Let's see what breeders I have for this. Unfortunately, it looks like I might not have a breeder for this. Timid does not work, and I wouldn't want to use this Pokemon on this little shitty second Chandelure anyway. I really need a plus special attack nature like Modest. However, my Lunatone did hatch. That should be done. That'll get sent over to our PC. Let's go check it out. Modest nature, 25 plus HP, 20 plus defense, 16 Sp.Atk. Yeah, this is done. Beautiful. We'll move this over to our comps box to train later on. All right, I need my Chandelure to be pretty high speed, but it doesn't need to be perfect. So I do actually have this Ditto, which should work out. That might be the breeder that I needed. So you know what? Let's go grab ourselves a speed brace for this Ditto, and then an Everstone for our Litwick. And the breed should look something like this. A Litwick coming out modest with 23 plus HP, 19 plus defense, special defense, hopefully medium rolls to 17, and then 25 speed. This should be good enough, actually. I'm pretty sure I can just go ahead and put this in Victreebell, because I'm pretty sure this is done as well, which is awesome. Okay, so we have 2 more Pokemon coming out, only 1 breed for that. We'll have an extra Chandelure now, which will be nice. And I need to make sure I check the stats on the Chandelure very, very specifically. I need to make sure that the defense will end up higher than the special defense. So I might need to EV train it in a more specific way. The EV spreads that Jinxpin recommends look like this, to give you an idea of how complicated high-level PokeMMO PVM is. A lot of people like to brush it off as super easy, and it's really only easy a lot of the time because you're using strategies and guides that people have put hundreds of hours into testing and crafting around. Figuring out how to not get the AI to prioritize your Pokemon with certain attacks based on their defenses is a massive new revolution and experiment, like huge points of progress in PokeMMO that have only been happening over the past 6 to 12 months. We have come so far when it comes to late game PVM and raids in general in PokeMMO, and it's really exciting to see all these new hyper efficient, thought out processes and guides coming out. The first Pokemon is Chandelure, by the way. They actually recommend 252 defense EVs on Chandelure. Not something I've ever seen before in PokeMMO, but it's really cool to see those specific strategies once again be developed for very specific fights in PVM. 200 plus special attack, 58% defense on Chandelure. The middle EVs are Rotom Heat. So on Rotom Heat, you want 82 defense, 208 special attack, and 220 special defense. And then on Lunatone, 252 HP, 130 special attack, and 128 special defense. I'm sure I might need to customize these numbers as well based on the needs that I want in the fight. If you want to check out this full guide for yourself, once again, I cannot shout him out enough. Jinxed Boone over on YouTube, a fellow PokeMMO content creator who makes some really good PVM stuff. For our Litwick and Rotom both hatched, here's our Litwick, 19 defense, 17 special defense, 26 attack, 25 speed, 26 HP. Let's go check the defense and Sp.Atk stats. They're equal right now, so obviously as I level him up, he'll be a little bit different, and I'll have to factor that in. Then here is our Rotom eventual Heat, Quiet Nature. It did low roll the Sp.Atk. Some rough luck today on the a lot of rolls. Pretty much every single roll I had on the Pokemon, not good RNG, but that's okay. It's gonna happen once again. My luck so far on the Ironman account has been very, very, very good. I don't want to call out bad luck and use that as a way to not appreciate the good luck I've received, but it's also important to call out when you get good luck, when you get bad luck, etc., etc. So there we go. We have these 3 Pokemon. These are the 3 Pokemon that I need for the Ho-Oh fight. They are totally completed, done in terms of being bred up. I just need to EV train them in a very specific way, and I'm going to save that for another day. I'm still, once again, not feeling very good today, so I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, with that training session. And once I get everything done, we can start the Ho-Oh fight, and that will be a learning experience for sure, and massive progress to the account, actually getting legendary lures to be able to increase the odds of me getting a legendary Pokemon by 30%. I always say legendary lures are super not worth using on a main account. They're actually so expensive for the benefit, and they don't actually save you that much time, so I do not recommend them on a main account. However, on an Ironman account, when you're doing the Ho-Oh fight, this is all you really can do with them, is use them. So I'm going to do the Ho-Oh fight to be able to get these, to be able to save myself some time on the Ironman account, and my legendary luck has been really bad, so I'm excited for this to hopefully help things up a bit. All right, still on my little sick day, but I actually feel really, really good. Much better after a nice big nap. Some days you got to take those days off, and there is a little Sudowoodo spawn over here, an Alpha Sudowoodo. Great mineral age group Pokemon, so I'm going to hope for a male. If not, I always need breeders for other breeders in the mineral age group. Yeah, there it is. That's okay. I'll catch this bad boy and see you guys in a quick sec. Also, very important to note here, Sleepy Sudowoodo might be one of the best sleepy animations I've seen so far. All right, there we go. The catch went through. Rash nature, not ideal. Let's check the stats. 31 HP, 31 attack. That's perfect. Exactly what I'm looking for in a 2x31 middle age group breeder. Those stat placements are ideal. It could have been a lot worse. Very happy with that. We'll go into the PC for a future breeder. Alrighty, I did some off-screen box sorting, and I do now have about, how many Pokemon is this? 39, almost 40 Pokemon that I can actually release from my boxes. Some things I kept for Pokedex entry, but I'd rather just go catch them in a different way in the wild and then evolve them. So, for example, this Magnemite, right? Level 30, I already have Magneton in my Pokedex. I'd rather just go catch another Magneton, or even maybe lure for a wild Magnezone. That is something I kind of, if you have, there's a spot for it. I think I would rather go ahead and go lure for that rather than take the time to like use a metal toad or go evolve a Monolith specifically. Obviously, you don't need to use a metal toad for this. It's just level up near a special magnetic field, which is not too difficult. You can just level up a Magneton in the power plant, for example. But for things like Scyther and Steelix, I've been thinking a lot about those mons that you need to use an item and consume something. Rhyhorn is, or Rhyperior is one I was looking at actually, because I don't have a Rhyperior, right? I might just rather go lure this. I'm not sure, because I don't have a single protector in my bag, and I'm sure I could go find one in the storyline for free, but do I want to use my one protector item on that Pokedex entry? Probably not. So I might go take the extra time to do some lore encounters, but I do have a lot of Pokemon to release here. Let's go ahead and go through. A lot of this stuff is things that I just kept. I wasn't sure if I would need them, and now I'm a lot more sure that I don't need them. My Dodrio, my Krokorok when I really needed a good Crocodile, but now we have a good Crocodile. Sableye, Geodude, lots of like good, decent breeders, things with stats, like, as you can see here, like Adamant Patrat, 27 plus HP, like high attack, high HP field age group mon, but it's just missing too many other things. It's just not enough. So there's not enough reason to keep all these Pokemon. And if I need to, the more I think about it, the more I am willing, if I need to go catch a Pokemon impromptu to breed a specific breeder, a specific Pokemon for a raid that is currently not meta, but all of a sudden becomes meta, which happens a lot during event season in PokeMMO, I'd rather just have to go catch that Pokemon on the spot and have to deal with that. I try to designate as much PC space as possible. As we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes now are designated for breeders. I have way too many boxes full of breeders as it is. And I might have to start releasing just straight up 1x31 Pokemon, because I'm actually sorting through them. I'm trying to find breeders for them, but I just don't have enough matching age group Pokemon, which is just crazy to me. It's actually crazy. Even I can imagine for you guys, your experience, like me looking over this. Let's do an example. If I look for 31 HP or 31, in any stats, 31, let's do not attack and special attack, because those are, repeating stats. You don't need those same Pokemon. Let's just do monster age group is what I've been doing a lot of, right? If I look for 31s, I have a fair bit of Dittos, but some of these I want to save and only use in certain instances. But then if we go over to our breeders box, look at this. I have a Kangaskhan here that's female only. I don't have that many. That's obviously my boxes. I have these 2x31 ones, which obviously cannot breed with the other 1x31s. In terms of, that's crazy. In terms of 1x31 monster age group breeders, I have 2. I have this Nidoran male, which is only missing 1 stat, the speed. So I want to save it as not just a random 1x31 throwaway breed, but, for those specific stats. And I have this Aeron, which is missing 2 stats or so. So also really high stats you'd want to keep, right? I have 2 Pokemon. I have 2 monster age group mons that I could actively breed with 1x31s. The rest are going to be 2 times and need more specific pairings, as well as, the Dittos can't breed with each other. So I'm in this really weird situation where I feel like I'm being super generic, looking up the whole monster age group, and I should have enough, and I just don't have that many breeders. Also, I don't have a single, look at this. I looked up 1x31 of any stat in a monster age group. I only have 2, and they're both males. So I couldn't even breed these 2 together, for example. Like, it's crazy to have so many boxes of Pokemon. It's definitely been an eye-opening experience with the Iron Man. To have so many boxes of Pokemon and still none of them be compatible really shows me how insanely good the GTL is on a main account when trying to breed Pokemon like that. Like, it's hard to believe as the player, let alone as a viewer. But anyways, you might have actually seen the Meganium and Ditto over here. I am going to start doing a few prepared breeds. I used to do something called Breeding Extravaganza, which is where I would essentially prepare a bunch of breeds, maybe up to 60 or, you know, a full box if possible. I don't think I'm going to get that on the Iron Man account, but I'm going to prepare as many breeds as I can off screen and then just do them all at once and explain to you guys why I'm doing the breeds, what they'll be used for, etc., etc., which is a really fun thing. I always love the Breeding Extravaganza and PokeMMO. You probably still find them on my channel. It's a bit of an older style of content, but they were always so fun to me. I also paired up about 37 Shidos with these rare species, so I can do about one more, you know, a batch on an Iron. Usually a batch is like 400 to 500 Pokemon or 500 eggs. On an Iron Man, a batch is like 30, as you can see. So I do have 37 Shidos paired up with a few more rare breeds, giving myself that egg shiny chance. We can actually see that I've only done, but it's cool to see the exact number. 88 eggs have been bred so far on the Iron Man account in the past, since the encounter counter has been added. So in the past 4,684 encounters, 88 have been eggs. All right, but I think that is it for me tonight. This is Monday night as I'm closing this. I have played a lot over the weekend, and obviously at the start of this week, we've done a lot of progress so early on in the week, which just feels amazing. I record from Saturday to Saturday usually, and then do the editing and exporting Saturday and Sunday, etc., for each episode. So thank you guys for watching once again. I'm gonna do some Breeding Extravaganza preparations off camera while I go to bed / like wind down for bed, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I will be live tomorrow with a gym rerun and hopefully some exciting Iron Man content, probably EV training those Ho-Oh Refight Pokemon. So some real PVM shit is going to begin tomorrow on the Iron Man. All right, another beautiful day on the Iron Man account. We have an Alpha Yanmega to go ahead and catch. I love this Pokemon. It's actually a Frisk Pokemon. Alpha Yanmega can be a relevant Frisk Thief Pokemon for very certain spots where you need the higher speed. You don't need it for everything, but it's a very relevant, very usable Frisk Thief Pokemon. I probably should let my Spinda. That was a little bit of a mistake, but that's okay. I'm going to Dragon Claw this, try to get it down, chip down the HP. 30% HP there, and I'll see you guys hopefully with a good catch. All right, we caught ourselves the Yanmega. 31 Sp.Atk, 31 defense. This is a fantastically statted Pokemon. It needs to be. I would love to have a competitive Yanma. I actually have a breed prepared for that today. A little bit of a spoiler alert. Let's go back to our PC and I'll actually run through everything. Let's just head over to a daycare and I'll run through. I have 10 breeds prepared, as well as about 38, 35, 37, somewhere in that number, rare eggs to just fish for a rare shiny for as well. Alrighty, we have some breeds to do today. I spent some time off camera setting up 10 breeds. First things first, I'll show you guys the rare breeds. So we've got a few 37 rare egg breeds to go for. Starter Pokemon, Fossilmons, just fishing for that egg shiny on the Iron Man. It's so unlikely it'll happen. Maybe one day after I do 30,000 eggs, it'll happen. But here are the 10 breeds that I actually have. So I want to go ahead and go through each of these one by one. So this might be a bit of a long clip. Let's just enjoy the process. This is just a breeder. 2x31 attack defense. Not a whole lot to talk about that. Just going to go through with that, right? A fair bit of these are just going to be breeders trying to build up space in the PC and trying to get rid of stuff. We're going to move this over for now. Spoink and Snubble. This is just a field A group breeder. I'm actually bracing the HP. This is a weird breed. I'm bracing HP and speed at 23 and 21. It's weird, but having them on with 20 plus in those 5 stats is so crucial for those breeds, and I really, really need that. So I'm gonna go, and it's crucial for clearing PC space and saves me a lot of time in the future when it comes to breeding a breeder for a breeder, if you've heard me say that phrase enough times yet. Next up, we have Vulpix and Dodrio, another just field A group breeder. That is 2x31, I believe, in HP and defense, and then 27 plus in Sp.Def. So it's all the defenses, which is nice. Yeah, when it comes to making these breeders, I usually do on an Iron Man account. I don't care about choosing between male and female because generally, I'll have to breed them up one more time anyway, but it depends. Sometimes you gotta just, you know, some of them I might make male specifically. Like this is one that I might make male specifically. I don't want it to come out as a Sandshrew. Some of these I could pay for. It depends. It's a bit tougher on an Iron Man about choosing gender because you just never know what's going to be complete. This one has nature, so that's a good example of why you should actually pay for the male gender, because you want to, that'll be to finish up a breed. This will be a fantastic breeder to have in the box. Field A group, 20 plus in HP, attack, defense, Sp.Def, speed, and then adamant nature. That'll be a fantastic male A group breeder. I should think about the male genders a little bit more. It was a good call from chat. Next up, Patrat and Sud. It's a great example of it's not worth to pay gender here because this is just a random 2x31 breed. to save space. A lot of field egg group. I have a lot of field egg group breeders, so cutting down on those will be nice. Next up, now this one is our first non-breeder. This is hopefully gonna give me a usable / decent Yanmega. I love Yanma and Yanmega as Pokemon. Really fun Pokemon. Speed boost. I don't think no Quiver Dance, right? Speed boost with like Bug Buzz and something to try to boost your attack and get some damage. You can go Specs. You can go, you know, Life Orb. Usually Life Orb. It's a very frail Pokemon, but it can pop off really, really hard. Really, really hard. So we're hoping for at least medium roll on Sp.Atk there. Speed can honestly low roll. We'll have speed boost to make up for that. 31 HP, 31 defense, 31 Sp.Atk. I'm breeding through. I'm going to make this female because I want to be able to rebreed this in the future if possible. I'm going through. I'm going to put an Electro Bulge in case. Should I? Yeah, why not? I'm going through a lot of this very quickly, but I should remind you guys or tell you guys, each of these Pokemon that I'm breeding, dude, this is probably, these 10 breeds on an Ironman account are probably, now it's less hours of work than if I was going for a specific breed, because that's actually harder. Going for like that 5x31 Charizard took like 30 hours, right? These are probably like, this is probably 10 hours of work, right? Combined, maybe a little bit more. All the alphas caught here, all the Pokeyen for all the bands, all the Everstone farming, all the Pokemon catching, right? I would say that these 10 breeds, probably about an hour per breed on average, if you calculate in everything, you know? Yeah. Did I make a mistake? Okay, that's hilarious if I said that was, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. We do have our first mistake. Apparently I paired up 2 males. That doesn't work in Pokemon, unfortunately. Sorry. Okay. We're going to keep going. 2 Abras, humanoid A group breeders, 31 HP, 25 defense. Am I just hoping for a roll? I forget what this was. What am I hoping here? Am I hoping for the Sp.Atk roll? I guess I don't really care about the Sp.Atk roll. I think I'm just trying to get a humanoid. I want this to be a male. Humanoid male egg group breeder that is 31 HP, 25 plus. All defenses and the speeds. Defenses and speeds are what matter as a breeder. And you can factor in attack or special attack. Both of those can roll and those come out. You're going to see a lot of breeds on an Ironman account that look way riskier than on a main account. You would not normally go through with these breeds on a main account. Next up, another Yanma breed. Similar situation, but this one could be a breeder, but it'll have to be bred up multiple times. That we're not going to worry about gender for. Just a 2x31 bug A group breeder. And then moving on to coughing and wheezing. So I actually do really want a reactive gas wheezing. If this rolls a usable nature, which could be many, many things, 27 HP, 31 defense, 31 Sp.Atk, 29 plus Sp.Atk, this could be an amazing Weezing. Reactive Gas Weezing is a glue Pokemon that holds OU together and in a way that some might not agree with. It's a very, very powerful Pokemon. For those who don't know, Reactive Gas is an ability that disables all abilities on the battlefield, and a lot of Pokemon rely on their abilities to be relevant. So that is that final like set up breed that I spent the time to do off camera. That took about, I want to say, at least 1 or 2 hours, a full move, maybe an hour and a half. I was pretty inefficient, but set up those 10 breeds. It was tough to find the breeds in my boxes. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and breed all these rares together as well. Just random. Doesn't matter about the gender, whatever. Randomly roll all that stuff. And I'll see you guys after this. We'll start our gym rerun. And now, what's with the incubator buff, I will be able to hatch eggs while doing my gym rerun, which is crazy to think about, but it's PokeMMO in 2025, baby. Alrighty, fellas, time for another Jimmy run over on the Ironman account. We're running a little bit lower on amulet coins. Got to go stock up on these. I need to do a full restock on like amulet coins and Everstone somewhat soon. Hatching these eggs, I can just do this in between certain gyms. Before I start here, I'll go ahead and do this. You just pop like this. It's honestly really insane to be able to hatch eggs passively. It's kind of nice. I do like how it makes gameplay more engaging, but obviously you've heard my balancing discussion. I'm going to pop the amulet coin, jump into it, start today's gym run. We are XP training our Zapdos, starting this run at 1,179,000 Pokeyen, and Zapdos is at level 67. I'll see you guys after the full run. All right, 2 seconds, 1 second. Our amulet coin is done. Zapdos level 75. Level 80 is where it's like kind of at where it needs to be. I'd love to get level 100 eventually, but level 80 is a massive milestone for future raids. Pokeyen up to 1,420,000 Pokeyen exactly. Did not plan that. It just happened. We're going to switch out our eggs. We can actually go check how our breeds came out over here in a quick sec. I'll do that really quickly. Do I have any? We hatched all of those eggs in one Jimmy run perfectly. That worked out way better than I expected. Let's go see how our Pokemon turned out. All right, no rare egg shiny, guys. Oh my, shake my head. So unlucky on the Iron Man account, guys. So true and real, Copium. Okay, let's go through our breeds. We got our 2x31 Chikorita. Came out bold, not great with these stats. This will just be a plant and monster. Honestly, the nice thing about Meganium is that it's in that monster egg group. Monster will on average need the attack stats much more than plant. So a good egg group to have that in. And then Snubbull being field and fairy. 20 plus in every single attack stat will be useful on a future breed. Made that male. This Diglett, 2x31 and then 28 in the defenses, needs to put the speed on or the attack or special attack. This probably won't be a Dugtrio, it'll just be like a breeder for a breeder in the future. Our Sandshrew came out. We Everstone of the Adamant. This will be a great, decent PVM breeder. An Adamant male field egg. This will be a finishing touch to a specific breed for some PVM thing, whether for raids, probably for raids. Random 2x31 field egg groupmon, you know, sure, it is what it is. Our Yanma came out jolly. We did randomly roll jolly. Not great. You want it to be timid or mod. It's the special attacking mon here with these stats. The stats came out beautiful though. 3x31, 20 plus in the def and speed. We'll have to rebreed that in the future for sure. Let's see how our Coffin came out. Brave is not unusable, but obviously it's not great. You could run Explosion on it, but my attack IV is so low. Look how beautiful this Coughing is though. This Coughing will be really, really good. A really fantastic reactive gas Wheezing at some point. These stats are fantastic. 28 plus, double 31 in the defenses. Needs to be extremely bulky. Wheezing can just do so much and be so unkillable. And then some more 2x31 breeders. Nothing too much to talk about there. Bold could be relevant for a like Volcarona breeder. If you want to go a bold, bulky Volcarona for plant or for bug egg group, that could be good. And yeah, mostly just breeders, mostly just progress. Clear out the boxes. I'm gonna move a lot of these over to like 2x31 more if I have the space, but I'm running out of space there. So I'll throw whatever I can fit over there. And then we'll go do our very specific EV training here in a split sec for the Ho-Oh Refight. I need to be extremely careful and lock in while EV training these Pokemon. If I make a mistake when EV training these Pokemon, I am straight up going to have to berry farm from scratch to try to get EV reducing berries, or like just breed whole new Pokemons. That's how like tough this is going to be. If I make a mistake while EV training here, it could cost me tens of hours easily, 10 to 30 hours, depending on, you know, learning berry farming strats for self-sustaining for like EV reducing berries and weird berries you wouldn't normally berry farm. Hoping it doesn't happen. We're gonna have to focus up really hard for that. All right, step one is special attack EV training, and these mons need very specific EVs, okay? I'm starting off with 200 Sp.Atk on Rotom, 200 Sp.Atk EVs on Litwick, and then Lunatone needs 130. I could special attack EV train other Pokemon if I wanted to be efficient. I could actually do 5 mons at once. However, I just don't want to overcomplicate this and make a mistake. Mistakes would be so crushing here. I have to watch every single EV. I have to be really, really careful here. It's not worth it in my opinion. I'd rather just lock in, focus up, focus on not making mistakes while EV training these 3 Pokemon, and then go from there. I'm going to turn on my reamplifier for now, but then turn it off in the future. Hope I remember that. So we're going to start Sp.Atk EV training over here at Heatmore. And I'll see you guys when these are at 2. Well, I'll see you guys when this is at 1:30, and we'll turn it off and move that and stop. This is going to be a very, very specific job. Once again, mistakes would be detrimental. Okay, so that is 130 Sp.Atk on the Lunatone. I'm going to head back to the PC, plop the Lunatone back into the PC, and then finish up doing 200 on the other 2 mons and just keep my SP amplifier going. But it's very important. I didn't make a mistake yet. I'm going to throw these in there. Just throw this 1 mon in here and just go back to EV training, and this should be good. These need to go to 200 now, so about 1 or so more inventory of Sweet Sense. All right, and with that horde, that is 200 Sp.Atk EVs on Litwick and Rotom. Let's see what's next. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do the next one. All right, next up, we have some defense EV training to do. My Rotom Heat needs specifically 82 defense EVs, and then my Chandelure needs 252 defense EVs on a Chandelure. That's going to be really interesting. So we're going to do this over at Sandslash in Johto. I just like this box because it's a really cool horde, and I love the shiny. So if we got a shiny here, I'd be very, very happy. yeah, I will see you guys at 82 defense EVs on the Rotom, and hopefully remember and keep an eye on it and put it away. And then from there, we'll do 2v2 on Chandelure. All right, one more horde will put 82 defense EVs on Rotom, then I'll plop that in the box and just keep going for Chandelure, just updating you guys every little bit because I have to keep myself accountable, and I don't want a mistake to happen. Wait, that's actually so fucking true, like Rumel said. I am sleeping on... So, the reason why doing the Ho-Oh refight is so good... Yeah, there's three... Okay, I'm only talking about the benefit of the Ho-Oh is like the legendary lures. The legendary lures might be actually the worst benefit of that whole fight. The two other benefits that are way better for the Iron Man account is, number one, the quills. I need rainbow quills so bad to buff up my Moltres and my Zapdos. That was a big reason I spent 60 hours hunting for Articuno, was just to get more rainbow quills, and I never got it, right? I just needed the quills. So rainbow quills from the Ho-Oh refight once a week, as well as the legendary lures, as well as I will get another permanent incubator. One of the incubators is unlocked via doing the Ho-Oh refight. So that will have to get done, as well as the red refight at one point. But yeah, it is ready. I've done it 0 times. The Ho-Oh refight is going to be my first... I think it will be my first big piece of endgame PVM content on the Iron Man at all, right? I haven't done any of the raids. This is my real... I've done storylines, but this... The Ho-Oh refight is really my first time to do this, man. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm sorry. Our quills... Excuse me. I was saying quills for Moltres. Excuse me. The quills are for the dogs, right? You're actually right, I believe. Correct. Yes, the Entei. But I'll hopefully get my Entei. So I'll have to... Okay. So I'll have to... Quad emoji. I'll have to get Entei, or hopefully some of the beasts, to actually be able to use those. But they'll still be incredibly impactful and important is the point. But that's a good point. Good point. Yeah, I always forget. Elemental orbs are for the birds. Quills are for the dogs in Johto. All right, that is 252 defense EVs on the Chandelure. So we're done with that for now. I will later put on a few Sp.Atk EVs, but I have to really pay attention and make sure that my defense stays higher than my Sp.Atk. I'm going to go ahead and use a Duststone now, just so I can see the stats of what it will be as a Chandelure and not just a little... I have to evolve into a Lampent first. Oh, of course. Okay, so we'll do that later on. Doi? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go... Next up, we need 252 HP EVs on Lunatone alone. Just EV Training Lunatone. And then after this, we will head over to Sp.Atk EV Training on all 3 for the remaining EVs. All right, we're going to go HP EV Train at Stunfisk, because I love this Pokemon. Would love a chance for a shiny Stunfisk on the Iron Man account. Stunfisk was actually the first Pokemon that I ever got as a shiny form in PokeMMO. Ever. Flat out, period. Yeah, I'm going to try to switch to using Heatwave Moltres for my EV training. I probably should do that a little bit sooner. It just, with wide lens, it still doesn't hit with 100% accuracy, which sucks. So I do miss sometimes, but these guys are kind of annoying anyway. If I can get like one extra elemental orb here and there, it honestly does really matter. I really need every single little elemental orb possible. All right, I think that's all that's left for EVs on these final 3 Mons. I have to XP train after as well. But right now, for the very specific EVs, I believe all I need to do is Sp.Atk EV train for the rest. I think that's how I finish this up. Now, it is important. I'm going to have to keep an eye on the Litwick EVs, because I need to make sure, the stats, I need to make sure the Sp.Atk does not get too high. I might want to put more into the Sp.Atk or the speed or something like that if the Sp.Atk starts to get too high, higher than the defense. I should be fine, I think, because the defense IV is 19, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. Thanks to Jinxboon's guide, if the Chandelure's defense is lower than its Sp.Atk, it will get targeted by Ho-Oh with a Sky Drop, and that will like always kill it. I would bet, or like very likely kill it. So I have to make sure the defense is higher than the Sp.Atk. That's very important. Well, let's go head over to our Sp.Atk EV training spot over in... I'm gonna go Unova and go Mantine, I believe. Mantine's gonna be the spot. We're with very specific EVs. We didn't make a mistake. If we made a mistake while EV training, it would have cost me tens of hours of creating new Pokemon entirely, or having to start berry farming to farm my own EV reducing berries. Really thankful no mistakes have been made so far. Hopefully these EVs work out. If these EVs don't work out and I cannot complete Ho-Oh with these statted Pokemon, I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board, and it will cost me tens of hours. Oh shit, I didn't even realize my Litwick is done. Okay, that kind of creeped up on me. That is completed. It's 510. Wow. Okay. The Litwick is ready to go. That I'm a little scared. I hope the speeds work out. The speed tiers need to be Chandelure the fastest, Rotom Heat the second fastest, and then Lunatone the slowest, I believe, if I recall correct, which should be pretty easy to line up from how I specifically bred them. But I do need the speeds to line up pretty correctly. I'm going to go ahead and actually just use, how close am I here? 2000 XP. I'm going to use an XP candy on my Litwick so I can evolve it into Lampent, and then I can Dust Stone it because I need to be able to see the stats properly. I can't compare the stats or read the stats properly if the Pokemon aren't evolved to their final stages yet. So I'm going to do Lampent. Beautiful. I'm going to Dust Stone this right now to get it into Chandelure. And then I'm also going to head over to Sinnoh and pay the 25k and go change the Rotom into Heat form as well. Just so I make sure I have all the stats lined up accurately, if that makes sense. We'll do the Dust Stone, and I'll see you guys over at the Rotom Heat Rotom spot. Okay, for anybody who needs to hear this today or see this, I always forget how to do this. How to change your Rotom form in PokeMMO. If you're over, you go to Eterna City in Sinnoh, you do have to complete the storyline. You come up here to this little building in Eterna City, and you interact with this little, there's a wall here, and it will disappear after you interact with it. Then you can walk inside here and go interact with, I assume, whatever form you want. So I need Rotom Heat, which I believe is this one. Microwave Oven. Yep, I'm going to guess that's Rotom Heat. It's going to cost you 25,000 Pokeyen. 82 defense. Entered the motor. And this should change its form. Overheat. I don't know if it needs that, but we're going to do that just in case. It definitely should need it over a lot of other things. Put it over that. Yep. And this should, let's see it transform here in a quick sec. It's a cool little room. The cool little mechanics just in Pokemon, not just PokeMMO, but obviously easy to forget. There we go. I can't remember the last time I've done this. It must have been forever ago where I did this. So there's Rotom Heat. There's the Rotom Heat that I need for the Hoa Refight, and this will give me a better... Now I have every Mon that I need for the fight fully evolved, so I can see the stat breakdown better. You can actually just go use... I can go check right now if the speeds will line up. So I can click this little blue circle and change the Mon's level to 100 in theory to see the stats. So if we do this, I need Chandelure to be the fastest. This will be perfect. Chandelure the fastest at 190 speed. Rotom at 175. This is perfect. Lunatone at 172. Exactly what I need them to be. I will have to spend... I'm almost done. I finished the Chandelure. I'm back to Special Defense EV Training. I'm almost done EV Training. I will have to XP train everything up to level 100, which will take quite a while. But I also might have to learn hard scale farming for the very first time on the Iron Man account, right? I might need to work on... Because I probably will have to relearn. There's very certain moves you need. You need like Shadow Ball. Chandelure needs Shadow Ball, Protect, Psych Up, and Safeguard. I think Psych Up might be I don't know if it has a TM. Safeguard has a TM, Protect's a TM, and I have Shadow Ball. Rotom Heat needs Thunderbolt, Nasty Plot, Light Screen, and then Hidden Power Ground. For the Hidden Power Ground, I am going to have to use some of my Mysterious Gem Clusters for the very first time to give it, to change its Hidden Power to Ground. I have to also hope that I have enough Soft Sands. Do I have 0 Soft Sands? Dude, making this team on an Iron Man account is going to take so much longer than I even realized. I'm going to have to farm Soft Sands to be able to get enough Mysterious Gem Grounds to be able to change my Pokemon's hidden ability. Or sorry, Hidden Power, excuse me, Hidden Power. I need Hidden Power Ground. Then I also need on my Lunatone, Power Gem, Protect, Trick Room, Psych Up. So even though we're almost done EV training, we have quite a long way to go before actually being done with the team properly. It's going to take many, many more hours. All right, thankfully we do have a tool to calc our hidden power, so I can actually just go ahead and see what my hidden power is. It'd be really, really lucky if it was ground. That would save me a lot of time and resources, but the odds of that are really low. It is hidden power psychic, so I will have to manually change my hidden power to ground with the soft sand farming. And thankfully I have the mysterious gem clusters, but I'll have to do some soft sand farming, boys, which will be a funny thing to frisk thief for. All right, this will be the final EVs for Rotom Heat, boys. I'm hoping this should be good enough. I don't quite have... I almost want to... Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go do these final EVs over at Special Attack. Over the bulk. Ideally, this would be 31 Special Attack. Yeah, I'm going to go do one more set of EVs for Rotom Heat over at Special Attack instead of the bulk. 220 Sp.Atk should be all you need. So we're going to finish there. And then after this, I'm going to start XP training, I think. I might go learn some hard skill farming or see what moves I need. I'm going to finish this final EV horde. Then we'll go over to the Unova shopping mall, check what TMs I can buy right now, and how close I can get to a max moveset on all these mons. All right, we are now over at the shopping mall in Unova to get whatever TMs I need. We're going to start off with Chandelure. So Chandelure, I need Shadow Ball, which I already have. But I also need Protect, Psych Up, and Safeguard. I know for sure that Protect is a TM. Do I have any of these? I'll just buy extras. Why not? Protect and Psych Up. You have to go by type in the TM Pokemon, unfortunately. So we're going to find P. We see DFG, P, Q. There we go. Protect, and then Psych Up. We actually need 2 of these. I'm going to buy 2 Protects, 40k down the drain. Well, hopefully for future investments. 2 Psych Up TMs. Those are really cheap, thankfully. Easy peasy. And now I need a Safeguard. I'm going to buy an extra safe. Well, no, I should only need 1 maybe for now. I need 1 in the future for the Pumpkin boss uses Safeguard as well. Protect, Psych Up, Safeguard. So I have all the TMs for my Chandelure. Done. Rotom Heat needs Thunderbolt, Nasty Plot, Light Screen, Hidden Power Ground. So Hidden Power we can go buy. Where's that at? H's Hidden Power, 30k. I'm spending a lot of Pokeyen on TMs. And that is one of the biggest costs of this team, is just all the TMs that I need. I don't know if Nasty Plot, if you want to learn any move in Pokemon, you can always check the Pokemon's Pokedex, and it's a fantastic resource. So I need to learn Nasty Plot. So I'm going to look for all dark type moves. Nasty, I can TM it. Okay. I was really scared I was going to have to, like, relearn that with Heart Scales, and I have, like, no Heart Scales. So that would be really sad. Nasty Plot, boom, got that. Then we need Light Screen. L under Psychic, boom, got that. Okay, so that's Rotom and Chandelure done, except for the fact that I will have to go farm Soft Sands to change the Hidden Power on Rotom Heat. Next up is Lunatone. I need Power Gem, which I don't have. I might need to relearn that with Heart Scales. How did I not get Power Gem on this thing? That's unfortunate. I think I caught it without it, I guess. That sucks. You can TM Power Gem. I might do that because I have the Pokeyen and the Heart Scales are more valuable to me right now. It feels really weird, but I think that's the strat. I also need Trick Room. Let me grab a Trick Room TM. Trick Room. Psych Up we have. Protect we have. Power Gem. Okay. What? Okay. I am really lucky. I don't have to Heart Scale farm at all. The fact that I can buy this, it is worth it to me. I don't have to Heart Scale farm at all. That's actually so good. Wow. I do have to Soft Sand farm. So that's the next strat. Is figuring out where to Soft Sand farm. What's the best way to do that? That's a weird... Who would need to ever farm that on a main account, you know? It's a weird thing to have to go farm. Let's figure it out. All right, there it is. I taught every single Pokemon the correct moves. Here is what it looks like now. Rotom Heat is Thunderbolt, Nasty Plot, Light Screen, Hidden Power. I need to... That next thing is to change this to Ground by farming Soft Sands. I have the Gem Clusters. Chandelure, Shadow Ball, Psych Up, Protect, Safeguard. Lunatone is Protect, Power Gem, Psych Up, Trick Room. We're getting closer and closer. I need to change this to Ground Hidden Power, and then I need to level them all to 100, and then we're ready to take on Ho-Oh. Okay, for those who've never seen this strategy before, if you watch the series, you probably have, but I will be using my Frisk King Bayonet, leading with that, and then seeing if there's an item, and then switching over to my Pickpocket Weavile, and hopefully just grabbing as many items as I can. And if I don't, I will go ahead and Thief after that. So let's see if we see an item. These Sunfish should have a chance, yeah, for Soft Sand. I do actually want to catch one of these as well. I don't have my Pokedex, so I would like to take the time to catch a Stunfisk here in a quick sec. Let's see if we can show you guys what this looks like. They have to use a contact move. I don't know if Mud Bomb is. Or, I don't know what, you know. We'll have to see. But these guys should have a chance to have a Soft Sand. Diglett does as well. I'll have to test multiple different Pokemon. Okay, there we go. We got it. It took us a while. We did get the Sucker Punch proc. So there's our first Soft Sand. I don't know how many Soft Sands I will need. I'm gonna finish this fight up. I'm gonna catch one of the Stunfisks here, finish this fight up, and see. I can just physically show you guys when I use a Soft Sand and the Mysterious Gem Clusters together how many gems it creates. I believe you need 40 or 80, 40 I believe, to change the Hidden Power on a Pokemon. All right, I did catch the Stunfisk, so that is added to the Pokedex. We are up to 315 Tauto T. Pretty happy with that. Let's take this Soft Sand up off the Pokemon, and let's go combine. So what you do is you go to your Gem Clusters, you click Use, You use a soft sand with it, creates 10 gems. So I should only need, I believe I'll only need 4 soft sands. When I have 4 soft sands, I can make 40 gems and then use those to change the hidden power. So I shouldn't be here too long. I got 1 immediately in the first horde. So I'm just going to stay here. Even if Sunfist isn't the most efficient way to farm soft sands, it's still good enough. I only need 4 of them. So I'll see you guys when I have 4 soft sands and I'm ready to finish that up. And that will be the final thing. And then I'll need to XP train. After I get 4 soft sands and change the hidden power, the Pokemon are fully UT'd, fully untrained, and just need to be XP trained level 100 and we're done. And we can take on Ho-Oh. That's crazy. We got a lot done in one day. All right, that is the 4th soft sand. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and stop there. If I ever need another one in the future, I can just go ahead and come back here and do that again. That took probably like 10, 20 minutes. Like not long at all, honestly. 4 soft sands. Let's use all of them with 4 gem clusters, 40 ground gems, craft, boom, there we are. Now we need to use ground gems on, we don't have our Chandelure in our part. Let's go grab, or whatever Pokemon needs it. Let's go grab our Pokemon. Who needs it? Rotom Heat. We're gonna go grab this. Look at this super slow fly animation. It's a bug that recently happened with the recent update where the fly animations in certain regions have slowed down dramatically. It's not great, but it could be worse. Let's go grab this bad boy. Throw this over here. The way you do it is you use the ground gems on Rotom Heat. Are you sure you want to use 40 ground gems to change hidden power to ground? Yes. Boom. That is mysterious gem cluster farming used. Beautiful. Our Pokemon are EV trained, moveset, IV bred. It's just time to XP train them. So I will see you guys after a ton. I don't know how many, maybe I'll count how many hours, a ton of hours of XP training over at Tentacruel in Ho. It's going to take a while to get 3 level 100 mods. This is definitely one of the toughest parts of the Iron Man account, in my opinion, just how long you have to spend XP training without without being able to buy XP charms or lucky eggs efficiently is just, it's tough. It's a lot of time XP training. All right, it is time to begin our metric buttload of XP training. I have my XP amplifier on. I have my my Pikachu level 96 now. My Pikachu's gained a ton of XP recently, so that'll get level 100 very, very soon. And then all of the other XP will be diverted over to my Chandelure, my Lunatone, and my Rotom Heat all at once. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have a 3-hour timer in the bottom left-hand corner. It's not a stopwatch, but it is a timer, so it's gonna be ticking down. It's just the easiest way for me to go ahead and track this. And I'm gonna see how long it takes. It'll be a lot of hours. I'm gonna try to. I probably won't be able to do it all in one session, but I'm just going to see how much time it takes to XP train 3 Pokemon at level 100 on the Iron Man. I'm going to guess... Ooh, I should make a guess before I do it. I'm going to guess 5 to 6 hours. That's my guess. Hopefully it's less than that. I'm hoping I'm overguesstimating because that would be pretty brutal. Once again, it probably won't all be done in one session, but we're going to start things off with the first hour. All right, I am actually now met with a really interesting decision. I'm actually going to teach Discharge over the light screen that I already taught my Rotom Heat. You might ask, why would you want to do that? Isn't that going to, cost you extra Pokeyen and lose you Pokeyen, right? Yes, but it's going to save me time. The goal is to eventually be able to put choice specs on my Rotom Heat and then lead with Discharge and hopefully be able to kill the hordes of Tentacruel with the Rotom Heat. I don't think I'll be able to do that immediately, but if I can eventually do that, then a lot more of the XP will be going to the Rotom Heat as opposed to wasting XP on the Pikachu, right? If I can lead with Rotom Heat and then get the other XP on Chandelure and Lunatone, I'll be gaining 100% of the XP towards the Pokemon that I need to right now, versus right now with the Reamplifier only 75% of the XP, which is still better, much better than 25% better than an XP share, but 75% of the current XP that I'm gaining is going towards these 3 Pokemon, and then 25% is being poofed away into this level 100 Pikachu, unfortunately. That's just how XP training works in PokeMMO. And I'm assuming most other Pokemon games, but I honestly haven't played enough of traditional Pokemon to honestly be able to comment on that. But as you can see, we are only around 30 minutes into our little XP training extravaganza. I'm going to go ahead and go grab that choice specs and just test how much damage I can do right now. I would almost guarantee that I don't do enough damage yet to be able to kill these Tentacruels, but I would love to be wrong. The Discharge does have stab. You know what? I could be wrong. The Discharge does have stab, and I do have choice specs, and Rotom Heat special attack is pretty darn solid. However, Tentacruel is just a really specially defensive, tanky Pokemon, so that really becomes the main problem. Why are my Sweet Scents not working? There we go. A little bit of lag or something. I had a wrong screen up. Okay, let's see how this works. So we're going to lead with Rotom Heat here. We're going to have our choice specs. We're going to click Discharge. I'm going to guess that I do 80% damage. That's my guess. They outspeed me. Okay, so that's a whole... Okay, well, that's a whole new problem in itself that I wasn't even planning for. I'm going to die to poison jabs before I can even get my discharge off. So, yep, clearly this is not possible yet. Maybe, you know, after 10 or so more levels. All right, we are winding down to the 1 hour mark in the XP training session. Pretty proud. I've been pretty efficient so far on this hour, and most of my Pokemon have gotten up to around total XP. You can see 227,000, 230,000, around that point out of 1 million on Chandelure. Chandelure and Rotom Heat both need 1 million Pokeyen to reach level 100, and then Lunatone is going to need 800,000. So Lunatone will actually be a little bit faster, which is really nice. So you can see level 61 on Chandelure, level 60 on Rotom Heat, and then 66 on Lunatone. If my math is correct, that means obviously some of the XP was gained via EV training, but not very much. Most of it is done via XP training. It wouldn't surprise me. This seems like it should be about 4.5 to 5 hours. So I was kind of right on that 5 to 6 hour mark. It might be a little less than that, but equating in human error, I definitely think this will be a 5 hour XP grind. So I am going to be here for quite a while, it seems like. I'm going to go ahead and stop the timer since we kind of know how long it's going to take now. And it's just going to be a matter of getting that done as much as possible. I'll try to do 1 to 2 hours tonight. So maybe like 1 more hour tonight. And then I will do a lot of it / the rest of it on stream tomorrow. Just have a nice, long, grindy stream. I know everybody wants to see someone XP train for 3 hours in a row, Poggies. However, this is a perfect place to go ahead and take a nice little break because there is an alpha Ditto spawn. So the best alpha you could possibly see. I've been like salivating over my 1 alpha Ditto that I had caught, trying to save it for the perfect breed. That free 2x31 Ditto is so freaking crucial. To go be able to go get another one is really exciting. I don't think I've always told you guys, but it's pretty crazy how many times there was a breed that was like just able to be finished via using that alpha Ditto, but I chose not to because I really want to try to save it for a situation where it's like needed. You know, if Dittos are liquid gold, what are alpha Dittos? That's the thing you have to think about. If normal Dittos are liquid gold, then I guess alpha Dittos are like liquid diamonds or something like that. I'm gonna head over to Unova to this alpha Ditto encounter. I love seeing the swarms of people all going over towards the same alpha. I just got switched to channel 53 to give you an idea of how competitive this is and how many people want this and how important the alpha Ditto is for so many people. Here is the spawn, really close to a PC, really easy location. If you don't know how alpha Ditto works, it has imposter, but it will randomly transform into a random Pokemon. I think it has like a set list of ones it can do, but which Pokemon it transforms into is going to be really indicative of how difficult your battle is. So Sunflora, probably one of the better ones, to be honest. Probably not too shabby. I will have to soak it to be able to spore it, so that will be a little problematic. It might have access to Giga Drain as well, which will also be quite annoying. This one, actually, wow, now that I'm thinking about it, this one might be one of the harder ones. Yeah, it has access to Synthesis. Ooh, this might be a really tough Ditto catch, but that's okay. You got to earn these amazing Dittos. Okay, well, also my Garchomp accidentally killed it. Whoops, got to re-encounter it. I keep forgetting that my Choice Banded Garchomp does a lot more damage than my non-Choice Band Garchomp. Who would have thought? Got a Liepard on the way back to the Ditto catch for a quick sec. Might as well quick ball this and add to the Pokedex. We love passive Pokedex completion. Any IV rolls? Nope, that's okay. There's no way I've got the read of my Pokedex either. Yeah, hell yeah, we'll take some passive entries. This will bring us up to 317 called OT after I quick ball this really quickly. Or its catch rate is apparently very difficult and actually broke out of the quick ball. That's going to make things a bit tougher. All right, a little bit of time spent on a false swipe and spore, and bam, boom, there is our Gothorita caught. That will also add to the Pokedex. Let's see if we get any IVs. I believe 31 speed. I will always happily take a 31 speed breeder. I feel like I never have enough speed IV Pokemon. That's honestly fantastic. It's a great like little free catch just while completing the Pokedex. Get a nice breeder. Hell yeah. All right, on to Alpha Ditto attempt number 2. It should still be Sunflora. This is I clearly killed it on purpose, guys, just to test. Yeah, it should be the same Pokemon if you do this twice. So there you go. Well, the Sunflower / Ditto has officially become indignant. Things might get really scary from this point. I think it's +4, +3 in all stats. You never want to see this with an alpha catch, but it seems to happen quite often on the Iron Man, unfortunately. But we always just get super lucky and catch it as soon as the Pokemon has gone indignant. So clearly that's just going to happen right now. No, don't do it. Okay, that might be the one time where it hasn't worked. So you know what? I'm glad it happened. Giga Drain went from doing about 9% damage to 58% damage after going Indignant. Holy shit. And healing it for a metric shit ton. That is unfortunate. I have to start switching over to Spore plus Substitute strats now for full safety. All right, that was a tough catch. Turn 32. I managed to bring the stats down from +4 to +2. Naughty Nature 3 times 31, though. It's beautiful. We'll take it, man. 3 times 31. 2 of the 31s are not both in attack stats. 1 is in special attack, 1 in speed, 1 in defense. Hell yeah, dude. We love a 3 times 31 ditto like that. That is just amazing. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Back to XP training jail. Okay, I'm going to do a slight change of plans and go do something that sounds really funny at first, and you're going to ask why, but hear me out. I'm going to go farm for a Choice Scarf right now. I currently have 2,240 BP, and it might take me an hour or two to farm this Choice Scarf. However, it'll be a very impactful item for the future of this account, almost permanently, as well as my Rotom Heat is currently 109 speed. And fun fact, you could always use the GTL to look for similar wild Pokemon to see the stats you might need to outspeed or interact with them in some certain way. So for example, if I'm fighting Tentacruels that are level 46 to 48, and I look for one that is timid and 31 speed, that Tentacruel is going to have around a 122 speed stat. I'm not going to be able to outspeed wild Tentacruels on my Rotom for another 20 or 30 levels. And by that point, it'll already be level 90 and kind of defeat the point. So I would rather try to get a Choice Scarf to abuse this discharge like we talked about. It might seem a little counterintuitive first because obviously it's going to take me a while to farm the Choice Scarf, but in the long term, this will be better for the account. I firmly believe that. So let's go ahead and get started. It's been a while since I've actually done these battles and farmed here, but I'm hoping it can work out similar to how it worked out last time. I believe this was my exact strategy, leading with a Choice Specs Eruption Typhlosion, and then a Salamence with Dragon Fang, and Draco Meteor, and then my Wide Lens Moltres in the back with my Earthquake Garchomp. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be like decently efficient and fast. The goal is to just spam Control Z through all of these fights and kind of turn my brain off while I earn some extra free BP in the background. I don't think I'm going to add too much commentary or talk about these fights too much, as they're not that interesting, to be honest. And once again, I'm mostly using this as sort of a quote-unquote AFK grind. And when I say AFK, I don't actually mean away from keyboard. That's kind of like a slang that RuneScape players use when they call something AFK. They kind of mean mentally AFK. But I will go ahead and time the activity that I'm doing and show you guys and tell you guys how long it took to earn X amount of BP. So I'll probably see you guys after an hour or so and give you guys an update. All right, I've officially been BP farming for a little over an hour, 1 hour and 10 minutes now, and I just completed another session. It got me 1,000 extra BP, so I earned about, I'm at 5,400 now. I think I started at 2,200, so rough math, what is that, 2,300-ish? Or wait, no, oh my god, I'm so bad at math. It's 5,500 minus 2,200. It's gonna be like 27, right? Wait, what? Okay, I suck at math. Never listen to any of my math numbers. Holy shit. 3,300 BP. Okay, around 3,300 BP was gained within about an hour. A little bit longer than an hour, but that's not too shabby. As I keep, going undefeated, I will get more and more BP. So that was like the least amount of BP I think I could earn in an hour, was that section, because that's the opening, it's the first few battles or whatever, and the more you do consecutively, the more BP you earn. So I'm hoping that in the next hour, I need 9,800 for a Choice Scarf. So if it takes me 2 hours to earn a Choice Scarf, which is exactly what I was hoping it would take, that's pretty good. I'm actually very happy with that time sync. 2 hours to get a Choice Scarf, and then make all my XP training way faster. And I'll probably just save the XP training for tomorrow on stream once I get this Choice Scarf tonight. Okay, I got double flinched by a rock slide from an Aerodactyl. This run might be so cooked. I might just get reset on my BP. That's really sad. I would have loved to go a lot further than this. I don't know how I can beat this, actually. I think it's so cooked. Yeah, I'm locked into Eruption at like 1 HP. What am I ever doing here to win? Am I like clicking like Hurricane? Or, like, what am I doing here? There's no way Heat Wave does it. Heat Wave into like Burn? Surely this is cooked. I think this is so insanely cooked. Maybe Hurricane into Confusion. I'm also 4 times weak to the Rock Slide. I think this is so over. Yeah, dude, that sucks, man. I only got 1 shot by the Rock Slide, bro. Aerodactyl countered my entire team, dude. Fair play, fair play. It sucks. It's on a pretty good BP streak, but it is what it is. School Kid Megan obliterated me? Fuck, dude. was on a 38 win streak for reference, my prior record being 53. So I feel like I could have gone further, but rough RNG, it is what it is. I'm literally AFK grinding for BP, so it's quite comfy. Now, something I can do, / I've thought about, I think it is worth to do. I didn't want to slot in, I have Zapdos now, but I didn't want to slot in Zapdos over, what's it called? Over Moltres, because my thought process was I don't have access to Discharge, which is like the big benefit of Zapdos in a double battle situation like this, right? However, I don't really have access to good shit on Moltres anyway. Like, I have Heat Wave and that's it. It's not great. Maybe I do just go Zapdos, put the wide lens on it, and hope to hit Thunders. Like, maybe that's the strat. I don't know if this will actually be better. Not having access to Discharge. I wonder if I could go buy a quick Discharge TM the same way I did to the other things. If I have to heart scale, it's not really doable. But if I can buy myself a quick Discharge TM, I don't see... Nope. Discharge does not look TM learnable on Zapdos. It is learnable via level up, but not TM. I could go get a Thunderbolt TM, I guess. I mean, that's something, but I don't even know if you want that for like raid Zapdos. I'm just gonna try this. We'll see how this goes. We're about an hour 20 into this, still at 5400 BP. Just need what's it called, 9800 or so. Let's try this new team. I think I'm gonna die to Aerodactyl again, which is pretty rough. Apparently my team just has absolutely no way to deal with Rock Slide, especially when they always flinch you. There goes the Typhlosion. Let's see if my Garchomp gets flinched. Surely not. Thankfully, we take out the Aerodactyl, but now it's a 1v3. I don't think this is possible. We do take out Nidoking with a one-shot. The Aggron, if it keeps Rock Sliding, that's ideal for me, but I'm guessing it'll switch up its move pool here. Go for an Iron Head. I'm still alive. Ooh, if it hits an Iron Head next turn. So I think my best chance... I can one-shot the Altaria. I'm scared of the Altaria. I think I have to just declaw the Altaria, kill it. This is actually really close. And I have to like hope on like an Iron Head miss, but I think it might be, I don't remember. Is that move 100% accuracy? When was the last time I used Iron Head? Fire Punch randomly for 9%. My run just got saved through sheer stupid luck on dumb AI. Wait, did I not kill? No! It's so over. Okay, I mean, that was fucking poetic. Are you kidding me? Oh, man, what a fucking roller coaster. The Fire Punch had me hyped up, but then my I'm choice banded, so I felt like I could switch. I couldn't, it wasn't a misplay. I just couldn't do anything. We're at 6,900 BP because of course we are. And that was a 24 win streak. That was even worse than the last one, dude. Okay, I've now been doing this for about 2 hours and 11 minutes, and now it seems kind of fucked up. All right, there we go. That puts us to 9,300 BP. We are almost there. I did not expect to spend 3.5, 4 hours playing the Battle Tower today, but here we are. I've spent a total of like 5 hours post-stream playing PokeMMO today. So I played quite a lot, but it felt right, man. Sometimes you don't need to set limits if you're having fun and enjoying yourself and doing everything you need to do. Like, I mean, obviously set limits, but you know what I mean. I had a lot of fun. It's been a blast. I've been enjoying, honestly, like this Battle Tower break of monotony has been so nice. It's so nice to just grind these Pokemon. You pretty much spam Control Z. Sometimes you turn on the brain, you know, instead of Draco Meteor turn 1, you use Hurricane or Fire Blast to save your special attack drop and use it in a later turn, and it feels really satisfying, a lot of fun. And we have 7 more trainers. If I can defeat 7 more trainers straight, it'll be a nice, huge milestone. I will be able to get that choice scarf, that final choice item on the Ironman account, at least final choice item of one of each. I will definitely want to go for multiples of each in the future. Having multiple choice specs, multiple choice bands, multiple choice scarfs, all very, very important. All right, this is trainer number 7. If I can defeat this one, I should get easily enough BP to go ahead and clear the threshold that I need for the choice scarf. So let's see. I'll show you guys this final fight. Hopefully it's an easy decision. So easy eruption here. So you a fantastic start. I'll easily be able to eruption into both these Pokemon. They will not outspeed my Typhlosion. That's the first thing I factor in when loading into these fights. A lot of times I'm just spamming Control Z, but I do have to think a little bit here. I'm going to hit, what's it called? Eruption here. You can actually see Shuckle with Contrary, which is really funny. I don't think we actually have Shuckle with Contrary in PokeMMO, but of course, it is coded into the game, and the Battle Tower still gets to use it. They get to use things that we don't have access to, which is very funny to me. I am going to Draco Meteor the Steelix, even though it's not great, specifically because I know the Steelix is going to have Sturdy and it's going to live, and I want a 90% accuracy move to hopefully hit, but I swear the Salamence misses Draco Meteors like 50% of the time, so thankfully we do hit it. I'm probably gonna have to maybe switch my Salamence after that, but the Shuckle's obviously doing very little damage. It's a Shuckle, so I'm not really too afraid of that. It's just gonna be a little bit of a nuisance as we see a wrap come out onto the Salamence. Incoming is Aggron. Honestly, really lucky 7th trainer so far. What you don't want to see is 2 bulky waters. That's when I know I'm in for a rough time, is when I see 2 bulky waters. I'm going to go for the Eruption and then into the Fire Blast. I didn't think my Eruption would almost one-shot the Aggron. Maybe I should have gone for Draco Meteor, just do that 1 chip damage. But thankfully, my Salamence is hitting today. The camera is on, so the Salamence knows that he needs to actually hit his lower accuracy moves. For some reason, it's working. He even dodged the wrap from the Shuckle. Bro decided to cook. Okay, my mistake. Eruption here into Draco Meteor is my strongest attack over onto Donphin. Just doing sub-chip damage. I still have 2 Pokemon in the back to bring in here. This looks guaranteed. This is a guaranteed win if I've ever seen one. Shuckle goes down. This might kill Donphin. It's really close. I think it kills. Yup. That's it. That is number 7 defeated. Let's see if we can see the BP go up early, actually. That is trainer number 7 done. We should get some BP here. 10,315. We've got 1,000 BP clean. What's my current win streak? 35. I'm going to stop there for now. That is enough to get the Choice Scarf. I just spent all night going for this Choice Scarf, but you know what, dude? It was damn well worth it. This Iron Man episode, in my humble opinion, has been a fucking banger. We have achieved so many goals in this episode so early on in the week. It's felt incredibly satisfying, in my opinion. I'm going to go grab this Choice Scarf. And that is just another massive unlock. The first Choice Scarf on the Iron Man account. Boom. Huge unlock. Let's go plop that onto our Rotom Heat and see if he can even kill the Tentacruels. Now, the unfortunate news is I still don't know if this is going to work. I still don't know if this is going to do enough damage or if I can actually use the Rotom Heat in the way that I was planning, at least right now. I might have to wait a little bit. So we're going to go test it. We're going to just see how it feels. Could you imagine if I actually can't beat the Ho-Oh fight after all of this work? I have done so much to get to this position. Could you imagine if it all just goes awry? I don't even want to think about it. So we have our Chandelure, we have our Rotom, we have Discharge on our Rotom. Let's go ahead and hop on. I need a Surf Pokemon. Whoops. All right, we got our Pikachu with Surf. All of the XP should be going to our Chandelure, Lunatone, and Rotom Heat with our Reamplifier active. All of these 3 Pokemon are level 100, so they should not get factored in. Let's go ahead and try to defeat a Horde. The hope here is that Rotom Heat actually does enough damage. It is electric type, so it is Stab. Stab, Discharge, 108, 105, special attack base stat. I don't know if this is going to be enough damage. I am not trained into Sp.Atk. I just realized my Rotom is quiet. I should be able to outspeed with Scarf. Let's see. We are so close. Do you see that? 98% to 2 of the Tentacruels. Okay, because I'm so close, I'm probably just going to tough it out and use the Rotom Heat. This thing is so darn close to getting XP. So now 25% of the XP I gain per battle is going to go to Rotom Heat. And the other 75% is going to go to the Lunatone and the Chandelure. So this should be way more efficient. 100% of the total XP is going to the Pokemon that I need them to, as opposed to 75% when I'm using the Pikachu, if that makes sense. So this should be a lot faster. This is the exact scenario of why I wanted the Reamplifier and why it's so efficient on any PokeMMO account, whether an Iron Man or a main account. So I am not going to do almost any more XP training for the evening, though. I've played way too much PokeMMO today. I'm going to go spend time with my wife, hang out, and relax a little bit. I will see you guys tomorrow for a gym rerun, a catch event, and then probably some XP training as well. We will have a very full day tomorrow for sure. All right, maybe not XP training, but there is a really cool Togetic Swarm over at the Dream Yard. I went ahead and just used this as a reason/excuse to go finally use Strength and push this boulder. If only I had Strength on my Pokemon. Wait a minute. Do I not have, did I never pick up Strength as an HM in the Unova storyline? Wait, that's actually hilarious. Well, okay, I will not be fixing this boulder today. That'll be a different day's issue, I guess. Oh man, I would have loved to get that 2-in-1 prop, whatever. Over to the Togetic Swarm we go. Now, I do need Togetic for 2 reasons. Number 1, for the Pokedex. Number 2, because it's a good-ass Pokemon. Togetic is a good rare breeder if I want to breed it for a few times for a quick shiny chance, as well as Togekiss being an incredibly good PVM Pokemon and one of the main Pokemon used in the upgraded advanced Jimmy Run strat. So if I ever want to upgrade my Jimmy Run strat, I'm going to need a decently statted Togetic. Oh my god, when I said I wanted a good catch on a Togetic, it did not need to be this good. Holy shit, dude. On my first ever Togetic catch on the account, this is literally the first one for the Pokedex. Docile nature, so that'll have to get bred up. Female, so it's a perfect breeder. It is 27 plus in every single stat that it needs. 28 HP, attack is irrelevant. 31 defense, which is a banger place to have the 31. 27 attack, 27 speed, and 26 special defense. What the fuck, dude? That's ludicrous. That is an incredibly lucky IV catch. I am going to catch more. Well, is it even worth it at that point? Maybe I just shiny check them and peace out. That is so lucky. What a ridiculously IV catch for a very powerful PVM Pokemon. Oh man, that's fucking crazy. That's so sick. Okay, I don't know what it is with swarms recently and PokeMMO being extremely fucking good. Maybe it's a new update. I know like we did get some new swarms from part of the recent update, but there is a melodic swarm. I don't know. Melodic? How do you guys say it? I feel like it's debated. One of the most debated names on Pokemon. But a melodic swarm up here to the north over near Resort Gorgeous in Kanto. What an incredible Pokemon is a Swarm. What a great mon to get in the Pokedex. That would have been a massive pain in the butt to get otherwise. Phoebus, notoriously one of the most difficult Pokedex Pokemon to get because you have to go to the specific location and then hunt for the Phoebus tile, which the Phoebus tile changes spots every like 45 minutes or something like that. So what a perfect Pokemon to get done in the Pokedex. I can just catch any shitty Melodic, catch that, get Melodic in the Pokedex, then breed it down into a Phoebus, and then boom, now we have both Pokemon in the Pokedex just like that. Very lucky Swarm. Once again, a lot of good luck on the Iron Man, dude. And the first catch is 31 speed, and then even 20 plus Sp.Atk and 20 plus Sp.Atk, dude. Not as crazy as the Togetic catch, but still a really, really good first catch. That could absolutely be bred up into a much more usable melodic if I ever want one. I'm not a huge fan of melodic. Well, to be fair, I think it's actually dropped down tiers. I want to say down to like NU. Melodic and NU might clean up. That actually sounds amazing. Melodic was always not good enough for a very long time in higher tiers. So it's cool to see it drop to lower tiers and hopefully have better usage there. We can actually go check one of the most beautiful resources in game, PvP statistics, and go see even in NU, Melodic still has a 43% win rate. Damn, dude, that's rough, man. All right, another interesting swarm, this one being a Blissey over an Artisan Cave. Now, I am not going to catch these Blissies. I'm just going to, number one, shiny check them. Number two, risk thief them and have a chance to find a lucky egg. Lucky eggs are notoriously pretty difficult to farm, and it's pretty unlikely I'll find one here, but if I find one, it would be extremely lucky. I think it's around a 5% chance, and there's only 4 Blissies, so once again, very unlikely. Cool shiny check, and I'm doing a bunch of XP training right now, so it'd be the perfect time to randomly luck into a lucky egg. All right, here's the final Chansey. And I know that I'm super lucky on the account, but apparently I'm not that lucky, or at least this lucky, which is totally reasonable. I've been extremely lucky so far. If we see the Frisk now, I'll just explode. Okay, there we go. No lucky egg. Back to XP training, or at least setting up for tomorrow. Alrighty, good morning. We have another beautiful day on the Iron Man account today. Our Rotom is currently sitting at level 77. We have done a lot of XP training and a lot of progress off stream. Level 77 Rotom, level 71 Chandelure, and level 77 Lunatone. 375k total XP, I believe, aroundish on all of them. Rotom getting more XP because it is the lead of my party now that I'm using that discharge strategy. I will have to buy another light screen TM though to put that onto it after. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this inventory of Sweet Sends, but then I am gonna go do my gym rerun ASAP, and then after that we do have a catch event today in about 2 hours, so I'm gonna go do my gym rerun, come back here, XP train for a bit, then go prep for the catch event in 2 hours. It'll be at 2 p.m. ET over at 5 Island Meadow. It is a shiny Sentret catch event, so there is a chance for shiny Sentret. There's a chance for more RP, obviously. I would love to get more free RP. The thing now is, like, now that there's things like chum buckets and like crazy things like that in the gift shop, like you always need more RP. They're so strong if you do any sort of like fishing, hunt, or shunt. PC expansion drives, there's a good question of what is the next item that I would want to save up for on the Iron Man account. It's actually a really good question, like what RP item is next. I don't know if I have a great answer. It might be PC expansion drive. That might be the next priority, which is kind of crazy. Also, if I bought a PC expansion drive, I would actually have 250 RP left over if I got 1,000 RP, obviously. So I could actually I guess I would still have... I thought Octarinas were 250, so I'd still have an awkward amount left. Okay. But I could buy Ocarinas. I could buy... You can see my history here of buying the Flockarina and the XP Reamplifier. Oh, it's a little bit over. So I'm going to actually take this off. There we go. That's much better. Yeah, now we have Chumbucket and stuff. Now, okay. Actually, I'm sorry. What I would do... The strategy... Ooh. How have I not thought about this? Right now is actually prime catch event time on the Iron Man account. Because I want to save up any amount of RP that I possibly could get, right? To possibly get limited vanities. That would be, whether it's right now, whether it's during Halloween, whether it's during Christmas, like all that stuff. Like, oh my God, that would be, oh, that would be fucking amazing, dude. All right, we're down to 7 amulet coins after this pop. We have been running through them recently. We are getting free XP on our Chandelure for this, which is fantastic. Being able to XP train them on during our Jimmy run is huge. We're starting level 72 on this Chandelure and 1,210,000 Pokeyen. I'm gonna make it, boys. I'm gonna be right on time. I have a minute left to kill this gym, which is plenty of time. For those who don't know, I like to do a Gamba, a Twitch Gamba, which is kind of like a poll or a bet on my Twitch streams, where if you believe in me, if you think I'll make more than 250,000 Pokeyen in the Jimmy run, you earn some free Twitch points. And boom, we just did it. I started at 210k. I ended at 464. That is 250,000 Pokeyen made. Believers win today. Doubters get way too many wins in my stream, so it's nice to see some believers actually. Because I know we have plenty of spare time, so we're gonna up our Typhlosion, our tally, to 22 Jimmy runs done on the account. Our Chandelure got to level 85 in that run. We have 45 minutes until the catch event, so I'm gonna go do some XP training over at Tentacruels in Hoenn, and I'll see you guys over there with the Ho-Oh Refight team. We are pretty darn close to being ready to do Ho-Oh. I'm ideally should be. I'm hoping that I'm ready to do Ho-Oh tomorrow on stream, Thursday, the first attempt for the fight. That'll be the goal. Then I can do it every week, once a week from there on. All right, it is 2 p.m., so I am going to be a little late to the catch event, but that's okay. We're going to make it fashionably late. Every time I've ever been late to an event, we always win. So clearly that's the strategy we got to keep in mind. I need to stock up on pretty much all Pokeballs. I'm going to go ahead and just buy... I'm going to spend some money, honestly. I'm going to buy up to 200 Quick Balls. Boom. That is 155,000 spent, or 187, some amount of Pokeyen. Dusk Balls. I'm going to buy 4. Get up to 100 for now. Timer Balls. Timer Balls have been the best ball on the entire account. I've actually loved them so much. I'm going to buy 116. I use these for like literally most catches. We are spending all of our Pokeyen to stock back up. And then repeat balls for Dittos. I'm at 140. I'm pretty happy with that. Luxury balls. Okay, that's mostly it. Nest balls we'll stock up on. They'll do it now. I was going to say in the future, but let's stock up to 150 on nest balls. For this event, I'll be using quick balls plus using my new Choice Scarf. I'll be using Synchronized, Timid, Choice Scarf, Kadabra. And I do have my Taunt version. I'm hoping... So the scary thing is, if I encounter a wild ×5 horde, a wild ×5 horde of Hoppips, and one of them is shiny, it could have Memento, and I could lose it. But I'm hoping that being able to switch to this is enough. We're just going to see how it goes. Yeah, the Kadabra with Choice Scarf still might not be fast enough. I'm hoping it is. It's not Speed EV trained. Okay, that's really sad. I definitely thought it was Speed EV trained. That's really sad. Anyways, we tried out. Alakazam can learn Taunt, by the way. Can Kadabra? I can't evolve this into Alakazam because no trade evos. Hashtag just Iron Man tings. Let me check Taunt on this. Knockoff. Snatch. Taunt. I just left. I'm gonna be like 5 minutes late to this event. I'm gonna go. Do I have a Taunt team in my thing? Let me see. I'm gonna go buy one really quick from the Unova shopping mall. All right, here's the first catch of the event. A Hoppip with 31 speed. Honestly, like a pretty decent catch. Above average, not crazy. Will be a decent breeder in the future. Hopefully I will see you guys with many more good catches. Okay, my Kadabra is too slow here. It does just die. I wonder if... What vitamins do I have, though? This might be a time where if I have any speed vitamins, it might be worth to use them. I have 4 Carbos. Can I use them on a Deadmon? I will get more of these from sealed product. I'm going to go ahead, yeah, put some speed EVs on this. And then use some of the XP candies that I have as well. Because it should help me. This is like what these are for, is like having these to use in pinch situations where it actually matters. For like things like a catch event, right? So I'm gonna rock with this and hope this works. That's a pretty darn good catch. Not, ooh, it's like so close actually. There's no species bonus. Timid is +5. This is a 135. That might be my best catch of the event. I caught some multiple insanely good Pokemon last night. I don't think I'm gonna be seeing anything too crazy on stream today for the catch event. I'll take a 2x31. 2x31, 2x0 is so weird. What a weird Pokemon to catch. What a weird breeder. Not relevant for the catch event, but a great breeder. It is 3 p.m. The event is officially over. Congrats to Brewski. Why is Pidgeotto's... Why he got such like a flat back of the head? Am I crazy? Why does he look like squished? So flat. Anyways, Brewski, congrats on your shiny on the Iron Man, dude. That is really fucking cool. Just got a shiny during this event. Congratulations, dude. 31 attack. Really nice IVs. 31 attack, 25 HP. Laxes, whatever, obviously. But like this is pretty solid. You love to see any shiny on an Iron Man account is amazing, dude. Big, massive congrats, Brewski. All right, I was able to catch 22 Pokemon. Kind of a tougher catch event. Like, not actually that easy to get that many catches within the hour. Our highest catch is the 135 that I marked. I thought it might have been. And we did get like a 30, well, it's like a 40 something after the +5 bonus. Nothing worth submitting. I'm sure a lot of these will be released as well. I'm going to clear that out for space later, though. Leave that for another task. I'm going to go do a little bit of XP training while we wait for catch event results to be announced. All right, drum rolls. Catch event results are being announced. In 4th place with 24 points. Ulop, Golden Ulop from fucking Twitch chat, man. Congratulations on the 4th place, dude. 24 is a cool score to win with as well, man. Huge congrats, man. 4th place goes to him. 3rd place, 170. 170. From NY Knox. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations. 170 is pretty high for 3rd place. Congrats, dude. 2nd place, 171 Vortex. Congrats, congrats. And then 1st place, so 170, 171, and then 173 were the scores of 1st through 3rd. 1st place is 173 from JWDW Arn Noob. Bang your username. Congrats to all you guys for the catch events. Congrats to everybody for participating. Hopefully you guys had some good catches. It was a lot of fun as always. I love catch events. Always try to do them whenever you can. They're a great break of monotony and a break of other grinds if you want that, right? As well as a great chance to catch a Pokemon for profit or have a chance at an overarching prize, get involved with the community. Catch events are just a blast in my personal opinion. A lot of fun stream stuff. Like it's a lot of fun in my opinion. So hell yeah, man. Another catch event in the books. All right, we have an Alpha Pikachu spawn. Well, we already caught it, but here is the catch. 2x31 defense, special attack. We got another light ball. Is Alpha Pikachu always guaranteed light ball? I've caught 2 Alpha Pikachus and both have had light ball. Maybe the like chance is super high. I don't know. I have no idea. But cool to see, man. All right, Alpha caught. I think from this point forward, Alpha caught, catch event done, Jimmy run done, some XP training done. I think now it just comes down to XP training my Pokemon level 100. I've got level 88 Rotom Heat, 85 Lunatone, 89 Chandelure. All that's left is getting these mons to level 100, and then tomorrow, if I get them XP train in time, I don't know how many hours this will take. Tomorrow, I can start the Ho-Oh Refight. I can begin Ho-Oh Refight attempts. Hopefully, beat the first attempt, but we'll see if I fail a few times. I'm excited, man. This will be a lot of fun. This will be the first big PVM challenge on the Iron Man in my opinion, post storylines in my opinion. So hopefully next time I see you guys, I'll be done with all the XP training and ready to take on the big fly chicken bird KFC fire thing in the sky. Well, I missed recording the level up, so sorry about that. But there is level 100 on our Rotom Heat. Our Lunatone's at 94 and our Chandelure's at 95. I'm going to keep training like this and hopefully be done soon. All right, and this horde should get me level 100 on my Lunatone. I believe it should be just enough XP, and then one more horde should be, there it is, level 100 on Lunatone, Pog, and then one more horde will get me level 100 on Chandelure as well. That is everything done. We can begin Ho-Oh attempts tomorrow. Well, now we can begin Ho-Oh attempts tomorrow. Alrighty, good morning. In about 30 minutes to an hour, I'll be starting my gym run for the day, and then after that, I'll be jumping into the Ho-Oh Refight. Today is a big day, fellas. But first things first, we have an alpha encounter. Always got to do these whenever you can. They're just such good breeder catches. Got ourselves an alpha Granbull, who I believe it's in the field A group, of course, but I think it might also be in the fairy A group, if I'm not mistaken. I actually don't have it in my Pokedex, so I can't double check, but fairy A group is kind of a difficult one to get breeders for sometimes, so it would be really nice to have a nice fairy A group breeder. I'm going to go ahead and do my normal stuff, skill swap it, and get to the catching. All right, there is the catch. Took a little bit, turn 23. I was down to my last two Pokemon. He was blasting through my team, but we get a nice 2x31, of course, 31 attack, 31 speed def, 20 plus in almost every other stat except for defense. Should be a pretty good breeder down the road, and I believe that was a Pokedex entry as well. And yeah, there we can see Granbull is confirmed field and fairy A group. That does put our Pokedex up to 320 out of 604. All right, I just cleaned up my boxes from the Hoppip/Sentret catch event yesterday, and I know I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record, but it is really crazy how full my breeders boxes are getting. Look at this. So right now I have 5 different boxes dedicated to breeders. I have noted, I have breeders, I have 1x31, 1x31, and 2x31 more. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. Almost all of them are full. I currently have 8 spaces here and 3 spaces here. That's 11 total free spaces out of 5 boxes for breeders. Whew, I'm gonna have to do, no matter how much I breed, I feel like no matter how many breeding extravaganzas, how many little setups I do, it's almost just never enough. I'm a little worried, like eventually the longer I keep playing the account, how do I manage this? I think I'm just gonna have to start releasing 1x31s at a certain point, or just reach a point where I'm like, you know what, I don't need any Pokemon in this A group for the foreseeable future, and if when I do in the future, I'm just gonna have to farm for it. You know, it's gonna be one of those things where I'm just gonna have to release stuff and then reclaim it in the future when I need it, which might suck, but you know, it is what it is. Like certain 1x31s without 20 pluses, without natures, like those might just have to go. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But next up, I have this box of Pokemon to release to clear up some space, and most of it's just nothing, Sentrets, Hoppips, Furrets, whatever. However, this one is a sad one. I think I've got to release it the same way I used my Corsola to breed. This is the Cofagrigus that won me 4th place in that catch event, securing 250 RP to get me the Fly Ocarina. So this is a sentimental Pokemon that I have to release for objective benefit. I don't love doing that, but on the Iron Man, it is much more important than on the main account. You can find more ways for space on a main account, have alt accounts, buy expansion drives, use the mail, use the GTL, etc., etc. Don't have those resources, don't have that luxury on the Iron Man account. So, poof, there it goes. All right, good morning, fellas. We are on the Iron Man account, and today is the day. We're going to do our gym rerun, and then we're going to head over to Ho-Oh and attempt the fight. I should be fully ready. But as a quick reminder, Sp.Atk actually just asked in chat, what does defeating Ho-Oh give you? And if I recall correctly, it gives you legendary lures, number 1, which would be super nice to help speed up some of my hunts on the Iron Man account. On a main account, it's a little bit extra Pokeyen, but it's whatever. You also get a permanent incubator. That's a huge thing from the new update. Defeating Ho-Oh for the first time does give you a new permanent incubator, which allows you to hatch more eggs per hour when doing rare shunts, which is absolutely crucial for pretty much any account that ever wants to shiny hunt ever with eggs. The third thing it gives you is rainbow quills, which I desperately need on the Iron Man account to help raise the IVs on my future legendary Pokemon, my legendary beasts like Entei, that hopefully I'll get around to catching by the end of the month, but we are running out of time. We have about 6 or 7 days left in the month to go for Entei, so we're running very, very low on time, but that probably will be my next big hunt / next big grind after defeating Ho-Oh. We'll go over to Entei, we'll catch a bunch of Dittos, go for the rare egg shunt as well, and go for all that. So those are the main benefits of defeating Ho-Oh. Let's go ahead and do our gym run and get to that today. We're starting at about 1 million Pokeyen clean-ish, 1,020,000. And then Zapdos, we are XP training at level 75. All right, gym rerun completed. Zapdos level 72 up to 1,260,000 Pokeyen. Not a great gym run, but not terrible. We're gonna head over to Johto. I'm nervous. I'm like, my heart's beating a little bit. We're gonna go to Johto. We're gonna go to the Burns Tower, which I believe is over here. We're gonna go grab our 3 Pokemon and our 3 Pokemon only, excuse me, and we're gonna go take on Ho-Oh for the very first time. The first big PVM challenge post the storylines. All right, fellas. Today is the day. Right now is the time. Here is the very simple cheat sheet that I will be following. This is as simple as PokeMMO fights get, fellas. Clearly a very easy cheat sheet to follow. I mean, it actually is, but it looks really confusing at a glance. I love the candles to represent Chandelure. The little, like, tea emoji, the hot emoji to represent Rotom Heat, and then the moon to represent Lunatone is so good. I don't know if I can keep this on screen. It might be too big. Let's see if we can put it down. I don't want to cover chat. It's probably too small down there. We'll just take it off for now. I'll be watching it on the side, fellas. I think I have the right. The order you run into the fight matters. Chandelure you want on left. Rotom Heat middle. Lunatone right. Let's begin. My first ever attempt at the Ho-Oh Refight. I can do this weekly from this point further. Twitch chatters are gambling on whether or not I will succeed. Let's jump into it. The screech comes out. Come on, Ho-Oh. Show me your worst, Ho-Oh. I dare you, Ho-Oh. Give me a crit. Please don't. I'm just kidding. A little too arrogant. A little too arrogant. Turn 1. Sacred Pout. Relax, bro. Reducing incoming damage. They're a protective barrier. Turn 1, you safeguard with Chandelure. You nasty plot with Rotom Heat. Get a little nasty with it. Protect with Lunatone. This is turn 1. Safeguard is up successfully. I don't even know what can go wrong in this fight. I've never done this before. This is totally... I've never done this before. Even on my main account, I've never done this. That's how blind this is. I've done the fight for the storyline run. I've never done this fight. Entei is called. We now need to protect on Relax. Relax. Calm down, okay? It's not a big deal. We need to protect on Chandelure. Nasty plot again here. And then this is okay. This is the coolest part about the strategy, is that we actually use moves like Psych Up to our benefit. So Psych Up is a move it's a normal status move. The user hypnotizes itself into copying any stat changes made by the target. So you Psych Up on Rotom as he nasty plots, essentially. And I don't know if it will copy the 4 times nasty plot. Is that or just get the +2 from the nasty plot? I'm not sure. That's about to happen. Let's see. Chandelure protects. We go for nasty plot. We use Psych Up strats are really, really interesting. Psych Up comes out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. The Psych Up gives Lunatone +4, yet matches. That's so good. Doubters win. Wasn't it Trick Room turn 2? Did I already fuck up? No, there's no way. There's no way. Okay, we can save it. We can, no. We can save it. Oh no, I fucked up. Okay, I believe. I believe. I'm gonna free ball it from here, chat. I actually think we're fine, Copium. We're actually fine, totally Copium. Oh, fuck me. That's actually so dumb. Okay. Shadow Ball. What do I do here on my Can you actually use items in this fight? Can I item to save it? Okay, we already fucked up. We're gonna try to save it. I think it'd be funny to try to save it. It'd be content. Can you actually use items? What do I ever do on my... I'll eventually start Shadow Balling later, like way later on. I'm gonna Shadow Ball now, I guess. Should I Shadow Ball kill the Entei? Power Gem Ho-Oh. I'm gonna try to save this. I'm gonna Shadow Ball Ho-Oh. Hidden Power Ground the Entei. And Trick Room now. I'm gonna see if this saves it. Please don't die. Okay, it can't be saved. Fuck! Well, doubters win. I'll see you guys when I climb this tower again in 20 minutes. Fuck! Come on, Pat, you need to lock in. This time I will lock in, Chad, okay? I promise. I was just I was doing it for content, of course. It was definitely intentional. We go again. We go again, okay? Let's jump right back. This time I'm feeling a lot more confident. I'm locked in. I'm focused. Let's see how it goes. This time we win for sure. There's no shot we lose. There's literally 0% chance. 0% chance. We safeguard. So safeguard, nasty plot. I'm gonna go. I think faster will help protect. Last time I went so slow that I ended up going to psych up and I got distracted and I got too excited and it just didn't work and wasn't good. It wasn't good. Okay. Bro messed up turn 2. Yeah, it is. Okay. It was really fast. OMG, oh, quick Pat. Yeah, I should try to fake out this and see if it lives. That's actually so good. Okay. We are moving on to turn 2. This is where I fucked up last time, which is a crazy sentence on turn 2. This time we do it. Protect. Nasty plot. Get a little nasty on it. Trick room. This was where the crucial mechanical mistake was made. Not everybody can pull off such a move. The maneuver, the dribble, the catch, the dodge that I just made, boys. Not everybody can do something like that. It's very, very difficult stuff. Following instructions. Literally the most important button of the entire fight. Pat used Trick Room. Pog. Pog. He clicked the button. Pog. Okay. Now we swap Lunatone. So we use Chandelure's turn to swap with Lunatone, use HP ground to kill Entei, and then we psych up. Okay. We are so back. 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 Yeah, sometimes you forget to click Trick Room with the Trick Room team. Hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. Beautiful stuff. Now we go Power Gem. We swap again? Wait, all the swapping is so interesting. Now we go Power Gem on Ho-Oh. We kill the Raikou with Hidden Power. And then we swap Lunatone again? That's so funny. I believe that's correct. It's so interesting. On the Earth Power, Levitate immunes it. Oh my god. I see. So oh, that's so fucking genius. The Ho-Oh keeps trying to Earth Power the Chandelure spot, and you basically keep switching. That's insane. That's so fucking interesting. Wow. Okay, this is turn 5. I need the battle chat up. That'll help me. That'll help me a lot. Turn 5. Swap Lunatone on the Chandelure turn. Thunderbolt Ho-Oh. Then Power Gem. It's confusing because the like order of your Pokemon and stuff like constantly rotates. It's a little confusing, you know? I can never believe in you, Petrowski, ever again after messing on turn 2. Understandable. Have a nice day. I don't know how to respond to that besides saying unbelievably fair. Okay. No longer protected by Safeguard. Suicune comes and that needs to be T-Bolted instead of Hidden Power. We're on turn 6. This is... Okay. Power Gem Ho-Oh. If all same nature. This should be... Okay. Power Gem Ho-Oh. We should be good here. We need to... Turn 6. T-Bolt the Suicune. And then swap Lunatone. And I think next turn we kill Ho-Oh. And it goes into... What's it called? Next turn we kill Ho-Oh and it goes into Rebirth. You do not kill Ho-Oh next turn? You're right. Wait, that's so interesting. It goes into Rebirth. Okay, so we actually want to turn 7, We swap Lunatone. We Light Screen. And we Trick Room again. Boomba. And then turn 8 is the rebirth turn, apparently. I'm going in totally blind. Streamer can't read. I am the worst person at following instructions. It's why I have to, it's often why I end up making my own guides, because I have to, like, you know, learn things from scratch and yada yada yada. Wait, turn, did I do something wrong? No, this is okay. I see. This is the turn I kill it in a rebirth. Power Gem, Nasty Plot, Psych Up Rotom. My Chandelure has no Sp.Atk boost, but now it's going to get a Sp.Atk boost. I see. Read this turn carefully. I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. I think this is right. This turn is so cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens, how this plays out. I love the visual, the shiny effect plays, right? The shiny sound. Wait, where'd it go? Hello? Hello, where are you at? Hello? Hello? Is this supposed to happen? Is this a bug? Am I getting bugged on my first ever attempt? Bug MMO? It's glitched, by the way? What the fuck? What is happening? Bug MMO, bro. That's really funny. Okay. Okay. Turn 9. Turn 9. We Power Gem. I'm hoping my Pokemon's stats are enough, man. My stats are a little lower than what's wanted for this. Power Gem. Thunderbolt. We just go all attacks. Shadow Ball. So now, okay, these 3 turns are the easiest turns. These 3 turns are all just Power Gem, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Power Gem, Thunderbolt, Shadow. These are all just... Okay, this should be the easy part. And I have to hope that I have enough damage. Yeah, you can actually control Z through this. Why is my Lunatone not... Is my Lunatone not supposed to not be buffed? It's doing no... Is that supposed to happen? Is that supposed to happen? Did I just lose? Yup, you're good. Control Z. Okay. Thunderbolt. Shadow Ball. Wait, our T-Ball does so much damage. Is it dead? Do we win? We can do Ho-Oh on an Iron Man account. No trading, no GTL, no buy-in breeders. We had to catch Pokemon for fucking 10s, 20s, 30s of hours. We had to breed for a week straight. EV train, XP train for 6 to 8 hours. The wild Ho-Oh flew off, at least for the next week. Another permanent egg incubator added to the account. 10 rainbow quills. I got 10 rainbow quills and 3 legendary lures, which get to be used while hunting for Entei. I'm so excited. And I can eventually use those quills. This changes everything. And this is a massive upgrade for the Iron Man account. I will be doing this fight once a week, every week, for the foreseeable future on the Iron Man account. This is massive, boys. Thank you all for joining me alongside this journey. Mistakes will always be made, but it's not about how many mistakes are made. It's about how you overcome them, how you get back up, how you rebreed your Pokemon, you climb that bell tower once more, and head back to the Ho-Oh fight like we just did today. Thank you guys for motivating me. Shout out to Jinx Boone for making the guide, Cav for making PVM guides, all the PVM guides out there that allow players like me to jump into this style of content. What an accomplishment, dude. Hell fucking yeah, dude. All right, now as we fly away from the top of Bell Tower, we can actually go hunt Entei. And what's even cooler, we could actually go catch a few Dittos because it's nighttime right now. So we can go hunt Entei while also catching Dittos with Dust Balls and building our streak. It's really important to hunt it at nighttime or start the hunt at nighttime so you can build your streak of Dittos and then switch to repeat balls after 15 when it's daytime in Johto. So that's, you don't have to like go start off over at what's it called, the Desert Underpass or whatever in Hoenn. So that's really cool to see. I'm gonna go Ditto farm for just a little bit. You can always use more Dittos, Shittos as breeders for rare species. Love to get those. I probably could go ahead and delete some of these mons. Do I have a... I actually could breed that down and get Pokedex, so we're going to keep that for now. I don't think this Stunfist is anything. I just caught that for Pokedex. We'll go ahead and release that. A little bit of stuff cleaned up. These Melodics can be moved over here as rare breeders, going for that Phoebus shiny if I so choose. But other than that, let's throw all of these Pokemon in here. The problem is this can't hold the Expert Belt. We'll just throw them over in comps for now, I guess, then. We'll keep them over in the comps page. I have started thinking about how do I want to put Mons in comps versus account. I also did clean up this box aggressively recently where you can actually see I put all of the synchronized Abras and Kadabras down here and then everything else up here. So it's a lot more organized now, which has been helpful to get stuff in and out of. We're going to throw these over here. This box, not so much. This one is still a bit scattered. We're going to grab our Catching Breloom, our Smeargle, and head over to the spot in Johto. Little Entei farming, little Ditto catching. Actually, you know what? There's a Bayleaf Swarm right now. I'm going to go catch it's the last Chikorita species line Mon that I need for the Dex, and that's honestly just perfect timing. We're going to go catch that really quick with our Soak Smeargle. Our Soak Smeargle might be one of my favorite Mons we got early on into the account. It was actually so crucial for catching every Pokemon. Like all the grass types and stuff from that point forward was insane. All right, there is the Bayleaf caught. Add to the Pokedex. No good IVs, but that's okay. A big Pokedex entry out of the way. Dude, this is kind of nuts. I didn't realize I had 51 caught OT alphas. And on a main account, you can just buy alphas and breed them down or whatever, and that adds to the Dex count. But on an Iron Man, that means I've caught 50 different alphas. I could now have certain species lines, like, so for example, having a Nidorino, then evolving into a Nidoking, like that does count for 2 or whatever, but that's pretty crazy. It wouldn't surprise me if I've caught at least 50 alphas on the account. Iron Pad over, yeah, dude, that I wonder if the day will ever come when the Iron Man account has more progress than the main account. I don't know if that ever will, because it would just take like so many. My main account has 9,400 hours, 9,500-ish, you know, like it would just take so long. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I'm sure there's certain areas like complete alpha decks that could happen on the Iron, or I mean, I have the Ho-Oh Refight done now on the Iron, and I don't have that on the main account. That's a good, you know, I have more incubators on my fucking Iron Man account than my main. That's kind of funny. Also, I just caught that Mischievous for the Pokedex. Hell yeah. All right, and after a few more Ditto catches and a 2-day weekend, that's not something I get very often, but that was very refreshing. We are back on PokeMMO just to say goodbye for the end of another PokeMMO Iron Man episode. A super successful one, if I might add. I felt really happy, proud, and felt like we got a ton done in this episode very quickly as well. This brings us to the end of episode 11 with 550 hours and 1.2 million Pokeyen, as well as 7,400 encounters over our encounter counter, but we do have 9,400 encounters that didn't get tracked on our previous, you know, Gillen's encounter counter prior to the encounter counter update. So we're actually, what is that, 16,000, 17,000-ish deep for, you know, since our last shiny, which is obviously still extremely lucky. I've been so lucky consistently on shinies on this account. It would not surprise me if this next hunt we end up going 60 to 120k dry, and that would make about sense. Now, we started this episode with 513 hours, so if we take 550 and subtract 513, I wanted to cut down on my hours played per episode down to around 30 to 40, and I did exactly that pretty successfully. 37 hours played while still completing a bunch of goals and making a ton of progress. Alright, but what goals did we actually complete in this episode? Let's go ahead and run down the list. Let's first start with our tier 1 goals, of course, and train up Zapdos. We did. We EV trained Zapdos and got it, I believe, up to over level 80, which will make it ready for raids. So that's just a completed goal right there. Alright, and then over on to PvP and PVM Pokemon made in general, we have ourselves a new Gallade and a Honchkrow that will eventually be used for different PVM purposes. And once again, I'm really happy with the Gallade. The Gallade came out super, super powerful, so we can knock off Raid Gallade and Honchkrow off of our list. Now, I still have a ton of raid Pokemon to make here, and then this isn't even all of it. I'm gonna have to go through my own raid guide where I have a video called every single Pokemon you could possibly build for raids in PokeMMO. I'm gonna have to go through that at some point and just denote which ones I will for sure need and which ones I won't. And eventually, as we get closer and closer to October, I will go down that list and really make sure I have everything that I'll need. But I don't believe anything else was achieved here, if I'm not mistaken. We still need to get Entei. Entei will most likely be the main focus of the next episode. As I'm recording, there's only around 4 days left to get Entei, and by the time I actually start recording for that next episode, I think it'll be a few days. So we're only going to have a couple of days. The first half of that episode only is going to be totally around getting Entei. All right, next up onto tier 2 goals. Still no PvP team, but we did get ourselves a Choice Scarf. I've already been using it a ton. Choice Scarf is a great mon for certain catch events, certain farming, running away from Pokemon. I use it all the time on my synchronized Pokemon, giving my synchronized mons a Choice Scarf who aren't quite, you know, leveled up all the way. I need to actually make that a goal to like EV train and XP train more of these, because I farmed all of them, but then I didn't actually prep the entire, you know, the utility, the entire tool belt, right? They're the kind of, I have them, but the tools haven't been sharpened. But Choice Scarf has just been so powerful, so effective. I'm really glad I finally took like the 3 hours to go get one. And that is a massive goal off the tier 2 list. No hard scale farming. We do have to learn hard scale farming soon, which is very, I've still been delaying that. Gym reruns. We did hit 20 gym reruns. We're actually at 22 or so now. So that is 20 gym reruns complete. And then defeat the Ho-Oh Refight once and build and train a Ho-Oh team. This is completed. I can definitely copy and paste that and get rid of that. That was a huge one. The magnum opus of this episode, this video, was working towards that Ho-Oh fight. And then consume 20 Pokemon via breeds and 3 new good IV Pokemon. I purposely made this goal recently, or revamped this goal, to make it a bit more attainable and make it more fitting towards what I want to do. I definitely did both of these. I bred a ton of eggs this episode. I'm trying to go for those rare shinies, you know, breeding down my Dittos. As you can see, I have a lot more of them. I really do want to put more focus. Next episode is just going to be Entei hunting and also rare shiny hunting. I actually really do. I think the end game goal, we're still far from it, is the problem, but I do think the end game goal that interests me the most on this account is going for an egg shiny, which is one of the hardest things you could possibly do on the account, maybe the hardest thing you could do on the account. But I just love the idea of going for that and trying to farm all those Dittos and going for that egg hunt. And I miss having a super long, difficult, seemingly impossible grind and then showing people that it can be done. That's what PokeMMO shiny hunting has always been about to me personally. So I still actually do like this goal, but I am going to go ahead and revamp it to 60 Pokemon via breeds, consume 60 Pokemon via breeds. And what that's going to do is going to encourage me to do 2 quote-unquote batches, at least Iron Man batches, which is just 30 Pokemon. It's going to encourage me to do 2 different batches, because I consume 30 Dittos every time I do a batch like this. And if I do 2 batches, that's 60 Dittos. So I want to encourage myself to consume Pokemon a little bit more, and that will this will help with that. And then in terms of tier 3 goals, the ultra long-term goals, I don't think we've achieved anything else, which just makes total sense. All right, so then our total completed goals in this episode end up being Train Up Zapdos 1, Raid Delayed 2, Refight Hantro 3, Choice Star 4, 20 Dreamy Runs 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 total goals completed in this episode, under 40 hours played. Just super happy with this. I'm really glad I wasn't locked into legendary jail this episode. That made things way more feasible and allowed me to focus on certain grinds and go towards them directly. But next episode, I will be back in that legendary jail, at least for a few days for the first half of the episode. So if you want to see me squirm and try to go for that once more, but this time, I will have access to legendary lures, and hopefully that will be the game changer that I need. If you want to see the progress for this series live, check me out on Twitch Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Subscribe to me on YouTube for videos every single day. For videos like this, the Ironman progress videos every Sunday. They upload, I believe, at 8 a.m. every Sunday ET. Like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike if you didn't, that is totally okay. I do want your genuine feedback. Leave comments, questions, concerns down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support my content in a super generous way, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, PayPal and Venmo donations really go the distance in allowing me to be here full time and allowing me to put as much time and effort as I can into PokeMMO and into the Ironman account. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I'll see y'all later. Peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Petrowski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.